All right. And with that, we should be live.
Hello.
So, hey, everybody, we're just going to start a little bit early and chat and bullshit while we wait for the show to actually start. So, I'm sorry, Tay, you were saying there's a dice drop? What does that mean?
Yes, it means that
Ooh.
there is a Twitter. They're on Twitter. They're Interstellar Dice, but I've been following them for a while, and they've been recently making a few steampunk sets of dice. But the one I want is particularly called Flash of Genius because it's perfect for Essie and I absolutely need it. So that's at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check them out. They're so cool. Their dice are so cool.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
look
have
really
a set
cool.
yet, but I will be. So nobody try to beat me out for these dice. I've been waiting for this for months. So I'm ready. 4 p.m.
Nice.
Central Standard Time.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's cool. They have like little cogs in them.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's neat.
I thought they were perfect for Essie.
I'm limited on my dice collection. So, I bought metal dice when I first started playing again, and I really like those.
Mhm.
And otherwise, I just buy like big sacks of like a bunch of dice on Amazon. But I bought my daughter a set the other day, like little tiny pink ones, and she was very happy about that. So I think I get the appeal.
Once you do like artisan dice, there's just no going back at that point. They become like little treasures. Like this is one of my favorite sets that I have gotten. It's the
Nice.
Hanami set from Forbidden Fey dice, which are like one of my favorites. Pretty much every drop, I'm like, ooh, which one am I gonna get this time?
I want to
Sometimes
get
I control
crystal,
myself.
crystal dice.
Yeah.
Crystal dice.
Cool.
Is it Maggie Crystal?
Oh no, I don't know. Like there are lots of different makers. I mean, just like actual.
Just a set of crystal dice.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
I love dice. They're amazing. I
didn't
spend
know
way
that
too much
about
money
you.
on them. It's terrible. Could buy a car outright for the amount of dice that I've bought in my life. That's okay. It's amazing.
I like
Nice.
the cheap little, just like sets you get, like starter D&D sets, like the most generic ones. I don't know. It brings me back to like first learning the game. Like I played with nicer dice before, but like something about it. I want these like just little cheap plastic monocolor dice. Like,
Yeah.
yep,
These are
there
my
you go.
husband's. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're just like the black plain
Yeah.
ones.
Well, Josh isn't going to be trying to beat me out for the Flash
No.
of Genius dice today.
Mm-mm. No, in fact, my lucky dice, the one that has been to the back rooms and back, I think it's roughly the same age as me. So it's like from the 80s.
Nice.
It's like classic.
Classic. That's right.
I'm glad that you found it again.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to talk about
Well, that
where I found it.
honestly, that the house fairy brought it back. That's what we're thankful for.
From the pocket
A
dimension.
Fairy. A fairy? I don't know about a fairy. I hope it's not malicious, whatever it was.
Right. Well, it clearly not. It brought it back.
That's right.
Just wanted to borrow it.
You have to appease
Yeah.
them.
It's true.
Maybe
I to
it
make
had a D&D game and it needed
Yeah.
your lucky dice.
Mhm.
That's totally fine. That's
A
fine. As long
particularly
as they give it
particularly
back.
critical role to make. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's been charged. This is my there's actual magic in here, I think.
All the Tooth Fairy money just went straight into the
Yeah. Something happened
lucky
there,
dice.
man. Yeah. It fails me in just the right way to make it entertaining.
Yeah, it
It
knows how to
must-
push the story forward.
Exactly.
It must have rolled well enough times in like crucial moments that it's ingrained into your mind at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That or the dice was cursed, and the fairy that took it was like, "This is garbage. Like, you can have this back. I've got nothing
Yeah.
but ones on it. Like, you keep it. I don't want
Yeah.
this
It's
anymore."
tuned to me. It's
Yeah.
tuned.
Maybe Fae D&D is different and they want to roll low, so it's rolling high for them the whole time. They're like,
Yeah.
what the crap is this?
Yeah. It literally did like a
Feels like a
U-turn
very-
off the table and then up into a box, which is kind of bizarre.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say what the crap feels like a very Wisconsin expression. But with that,
What the crap?
With that
probably
being
is.
said, folks, welcome back to another episode of Best Left Buried, episode 5 of Best Left Buried, where we're getting the band back together, but for the first time.
We're starting a band.
Today, you're joined by me. I'm Jason. I'm your game master for this episode of Best Left Buried, and I'm going to leave folks to introduce themselves. I'm going to point first to Taya. Go ahead.
So I'm Taya. I'm going to be playing Elspeth, or Essie Pike. She's a half-elf artificer, and I'm really excited to be backed with the whole gang that we've never seen before. So can't wait.
Right. And then we have Paula.
Hello, I am Paula. I'm playing Kit. She is a little thieving rogue and she's being chased by something scary. And so I can't wait to see if it catches up with her today.
Yeah, me either. Carrying on from there with Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh, and I'll be playing Zagran Beltune, and also known currently as Dalen, as he is undercover.
Right. And last but not least, we have our artist extraordinaire, Mike.
Hi, Mike. I'll be playing Soleus, just Soleus, like Cher, and going under the alias of Dennis, a drow shadow monk.
Nice.
Mhm.
While we were gone, you have all leveled up. You've all hit level 4, right, on making it to the crossroads. We have, there was a little bit, if you're on our Discord, and if you're not on our Discord, check out our Discord. We
Get
had a
on our
little bit
Discord.
of chatting in our Between the Scenes channel where we talked about things that happened between the scene last. I'm going to give everybody a recap, but not yet. First, we're going to go with some announcements. So our March Patreon module is up. So it's part 1 of the contest, which is actually something that Taya and Paula managed to run together with me, which I thought was pretty fun. What do you think?
Definitely.
It was very fun, very scary.
Very
Yeah.
scary and dangerous, but also very fun.
Well, like the show's not called Heroes Live, right?
Someone may or may not have died.
There was a lot of sharks.
A
That's
lot of
all I will
sharks.
say.
Yeah. So anyway, we have the first part of that module. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it, and then we'll have part 2 coming up in April. We'd really appreciate it if you're here and watching on Twitch or on YouTube. Press the follow or subscribe button depending on which thing that you're on. It makes a huge impact, and it's really nice if y'all can support the show. Helps us know that people like this, and it's not just, to be clear, it is just a fun thing that we do, but it's not just for us. It's also for other folks. On that note, I plugged it earlier, but please join our Discord. It's a great place for us to get to know you and, get a sense of what do you like about the show, what do you want to hear about, and, just kind of keep in touch with each other. I like it a lot. We also have, we do have a Patreon, which you can find Patreon/@HeroesDieShow. Is that right?
Yep.
We're on Twitter @HeroesDieShow. And Josh runs it, and it's genuinely hilarious and great place to keep up with what we're doing. We're on Instagram and TikTok, also @HeroesDieShow. Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
and we're on YouTube @HeroesDieShow and Twitch/HeroesDieShow. Twitch is the only place where we don't get an ad, but we don't want an ad on Twitch for whatever reason. And I think that's it. Is that it?
I'm just saying that there's going to be really cute chibi art of Essie and Kit on our Discord in the next
Yes.
little while. So
So
join us
cute.
and check it out.
You're only going to get to see that on Discord. So pretty
Discord
big,
exclusive.
Pretty big deal. Yeah. Okay, well, with that, if that's good on announcements. Oh, we can find merch at Paula, do you mind reminding me?
Yes, it is. Oh, the link is on the Twitch page,
There we
but
go.
it is on bigcartel.com. So
Yeah, if you scroll down on Twitch on the About Us, you'll see a link to our merch store. Got somebody show me the Heroes Die mug. We've got a cool mug. We've got a hoodie. We have wizard hats. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. This is the only thing I drink my tea out of now is the Heroes Die Show mug because it's very cool.
It's superior
And,
in every way.
It's the superior mug. The
It
tea
is.
genuinely tastes better in it. So with that, I think we want to say thanks to you watching, because we really appreciate y'all being willing to spend the time with us. Love hearing from you in chat as we go. We want to say thanks to all the folks that like make this material and make this game that we get to play, all the great third-party creators, or the great 5e creators that make good content that makes this game. Like, we use stuff from Wizards of the Coast, we use stuff from MCDM, from the one that, who's the people that make the Midgard stuff? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will remember that later. And Kobold Press, there we go. Kobold Press and a bunch of others. So if you're out there making cool D&D content, thank you. Really, really appreciate it, and we love it. And want to say thanks to Mike for the awesome overlays and all the stuff, all the Heroes Die show art that we love so much. Okay, and I think that's it. And now I'm going to send you all to our intro video. And, thanks to really Paula, Mike, Andrew for helping make that a reality. And enjoy, and we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, see you in a sec, or a few seconds. Bye.
Ah, old friend, you're here again. So glad you could stop by. Come, sit a while and let's begin. The tale of Heroes Die. In distant lands are stories made with villains most despised. A tale of magic, strength, and blade, of camaraderie and lies. It's one I know quite well, you see. Perhaps you'll find out why. The legends and the histories remember. Heroes Die.
I know that it's drums at the end, but I always think it's Essie's rifle firing. So in my mind, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Probably
nice.
add that. We could probably add that later on.
Yeah, I think that's, let's take that as a immediate suggestion for the intro video in our copious free time. Okay. Well, as you may have noticed, we're back. Thank you for sticking through the intro video. So I'm going to do a quick recap. So over the last 4 weeks, you've seen Kit and Essie go from in the city of Zadash, Kit being chased by something, Essie, getting ready to depart her home. They left together and had a relatively safe journey up, although on the journey from Zadash to the crossroads, they got into a conflict, and Kit killed for the first time in her life, as they were attacked by some folks. On top of that, y'all were able to make it to the crossroads in relative safety, not without a few boring incidents that you were able to just bear through and I'm sorry, make it make it past. Zagrin and Saleus, they took the long trip from the Kryn dynasty, where the embassy that Zagrin you'd helped arrange was actually attacked by the Children of Malice, a splinter faction of absolute hate and ass drow who are really unhappy that the Kryn dynasty have rejected the demon goddess Loth and are trying to make that everybody else's problem, because they can't just be cool. Why can't they just be cool? I don't know, but they can't. And so you've made your journey, a lot of it through the Underdark, but some of it above ground, dodging and ducking patrols, having some tense interactions at inns with groups of guards from a nation that to a large degree considers you the enemy, because your nation is at war with the Empire, and the Drow are pretty distinctly identified with the Kryn dynasty. On your journey up, actually, when we last left you, you had fought your way across a bridge into this section of the country, and had actually killed a guard. And you were pursued pretty heavily after that incident. And then you've only recently, last night, made it to the crossroads, and here you are camped out for the day. At your at your campsite. So we're going to start. The camera pans to Zagrin and Seleus. You know that you've had some time to chat. You've talked to Brave Light, the Tabaxi caravan master who runs the High Slopes caravan, and you know that you will be expected to, in addition to your fare, you are the only guards that are going to be, you and some other travelers that are going with the caravan who you haven't met with, are going to be the only guards available for the caravan from here to the city of Eurosa. So, folks, go ahead and take a minute to just chat with each other, and then I'm going to shift the scene over to our other folks.
Zagrin will be leaning against one of the, just like a post nearby, some horses tied up. He doesn't have his weapon with him. When he entered town, he would have dismissed it into the pocket dimension it likes to hang out in. His mask is still on, and his hood is up, laying low, and just kind of trying to be nearby so they can leave as soon as, he doesn't miss as soon as they're ready to leave, because he doesn't like staying in one place for too long when he's on this side of the border. So he's just kind of waiting patiently.
Yeah, Seleus will come up and, squinting at the early morning day. Looks like it will be a bright one today.
It does look like it'll be a bright one. In fact, it is absolutely gorgeous. Not that helps you, because of course, Seleus, you are so unaccustomed to the sun that it's actually painful to be out there in the bright light.
But I worship her, so
it's a complicated relationship.
Her love is difficult.
All right, we're going to pause on you two. So thank you for opening that up, assuming that you're probably having your morning tea.
Of course.
This time without a servant to prepare it for you.
I could brew a mean cup.
Let's pan the camera over to Kit Nessie. So Kit Nessie, you are now at camp. So you've had a couple days here at the crossroads. There's a troupe of entertainers who have put on some shows and have been nice folks that you've been able to chat with. Essie, you've been working a little bit on some modifications that you're making to your rifle. Happy endings. Happy ending?
Happy ending.
Happy ending. Got it.
Yeah.
But with more of a country twang.
Exactly.
So
happy ending is acceptable as well. So
no, right.
Yeah.
I like it. It's better your way. Let's just be clear about this.
Andin.
It is the start of the day, right? And you are to meet with the caravan master, Brave Light, today. He's been busy the last couple days, but he's got some time to meet with you this morning, and he wants to go over what the plan is for the rest of your journey.
I would imagine maybe they've just had a little crossbow lesson, perhaps. Essie's been teaching Kit how to use the crossbow she gave her. She seems to be getting pretty good at it. She seems to have been picking it up pretty quickly.
As they walk towards Brave Light, I'm assuming they just came from that, and Essie will just kind of look over and she'll say, "I know you haven't held one of these for very long, but you got a knack for this."
I think you're a good teacher. It's been fun. I kind of like it.
It has been. I haven't used one of those in years, actually. It's kind of nice to see somebody use it finally again.
Definitely helps when you don't want to get too close to whoever you're fighting. I'm not so used to that, but it's good to be safe.
Yeah, I'm actually not as used to people getting in my face. I'm not as good at that, but I've been working on something that might help me out here. It's not quite done, but I think I'm about halfway there, and she'll just kind of bring out her musket, and there's an attachment on the underside of the barrel that she's been working on for the past couple days. So it doesn't go out and retract yet, but I'm thinking this will help me in close quarter combat.
You've always got something up your sleeve.
Can't let my mind be idle. Not for very long.
That's true. Got quite a collection of little gadgets, though.
There's always room for one more.
They've definitely come in handy. I'm not complaining.
Some of them is the first time I've gotten to use them out in the field. I'm happy they didn't. Well, they've misfired a couple times when I was making them, so I'm happy to see that they were performing adequately and they didn't jam up or anything. That would be real embarrassing.
It reminds me not to use anything until it's been tested.
At least twice. 3 times is really... Actually, more than that is probably preferred, but sometimes you can't be choosy.
Okay.
I'll
As
get to
y'all
Brave Light.
as y'all are talking, you see a somewhat gray-furred and distinguished-looking tabaxi walking towards you. They're tall, but they look a little bit like hunched, like their shoulders are a bit hunched, and you can see the age on them as they walk. At the same time, there's a lot of natural grace in this person's movements as they go. Their tail flicks a bit. They're wearing bright colors. Loose-fitting clothing. You can see them smiling at children and things as they pass. But they're moving towards you. This does look like it may be Brave Light.
Essie will raise a hand in greeting. Does just a quick question. How are tabaxi viewed in the Empire?
Yeah, great question. So there aren't a ton of tabaxi, right? And most of the ones that you've seen are in these sort of traveling caravans. So it's more likely that they would be nomadic folk. You'd see them in markets, you'd see them passing through. There's a lot of the people of the Empire tend to be fairly insular. So you're well traveled, Essie, but like Kit's never left Zadash, and that's not weird, right? And Kit's never left Zadash, and that's not weird. And you'll find a lot of folk, especially once you've traveled a bit, you start to think like, man, like all these people should get out a bit more. And the Empire as a whole is very insular, right? And a little xenophobic. So there are humans, there are elves, tend to be mostly in their own areas, but there are elves, especially among the nobility. There are half elves are pretty common. Halflings, especially as you go south towards Zadash and further east, there's a lot of halflings, and not insignificant dwarven or orc or half orc population, right? So there's a mix, but if you're not from the Empire, if you're not from the city, something's a bit weird, unless it's a city made of folk that tend to travel, which Zadash was not one of those cities, right?
Mm-hmm. As we
so there were some prejudices. That was a lot of words for. There are some prejudices.
Absolutely understandable. But Essie she'll just reach out a hand as they get closer and she'll say, Brave Lad, I assume.
Indeed. And is this the famous Essie?
This is Essie Pike. Good to meet you. Happy to be part of your caravan here.
Good to meet you as well. And you?
This is my friend Kit.
Oh, great.
Kit's just kind of staying back like a couple steps, and she'll look up and just nod, but she's not going to say anything. She'll just allow Essie to do the talking.
She's real handy with daggers and the like, so she'll be a big help to us.
He looks at you and goes, of course. And he just nods and drops the subject immediately. He goes, so, you will accompany me all the way to Ice Haven. Is that correct?
That's correct. We'll be running point, making sure that you're all safe on the way. I think that was part of the agreement.
Excellent. I was coming to say just that thing. Between here and Eurosa, we find ourselves without any escort. So,
we got the two of us now. how have the roads been? Has there been a big bandit population? Thing like that?
I hear tell that since the war, banditry in general, has gotten much worse. And I would let you know that you will not be guarding this caravan by yourselves. I have 3 other travelers who have come to the same arrangement as you. May I make introductions?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Please. please, please come with me. And he begins walking you through the camp, and he's just kind of chatting as he goes. So now tell me, if you don't mind sharing some of your business, what brings fine folks such as yourselves all the way up to the far edges of civilization?
Well, we got business in Ice Haven, and it's not exactly the best to travel alone. So, well, you know, the caravan is as much protection for us as we are for the caravan.
Indeed, there is safety in numbers. Well, I will inquire no further then. You tell me what you like when you are ready.
All right, well, what I can guarantee is that we are the best at taking care of this.
Excellent, excellent. I expect that um, our travel to Eurosa should take 3 weeks.
3 weeks. All right,
Indeed.
well, that's a lot of time to get to know each other. I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. We have many fine stops along the way. You will not find the journey too difficult. And as he says that, he walks you up
Oh,
to
well, for the
another camp. Oh, sorry.
oh, she's gonna say, well, for the famous Pack family, it's just another couple weeks in the broad scheme of things. It's gonna be fun, an enjoyable journey. This is Kit's
He's-
first time out of Zadash, so she's looking forward to it.
Ah, I see. Well, I hope to show you the best of what the roads have to offer.
Yeah, you're. I'm kind of sad that the troop isn't coming with. Where are they?
They are not, no.
It was pretty nice to see their shows for the past couple days. Limited,
Ah,
but sad to miss them.
we will have lots of music on our journey as well. Do not be afraid.
All
But
right.
excuse me for a moment. And sorry, Zagrin, what was your nom de travel there?
Dalen.
He goes, excuse me, Dalen. Dalen, are you here? And he yells out as he gets closer to your campsite. Yells. He doesn't yell very loud.
Yes, I'm here. He seems like
Ah.
disturbed that he wasn't even doing anything, but seems annoyed.
All right. So, I'm going to have y'all describe each other in just a second. So, do you like step out of your tent, or where are you at as he comes up?
Yeah, I'm just like standing up against a post and kind of look over when he calls and start walking up to him.
Nice. All right. So let's go, Zagrin. What do Kit and Essie see as Zagrin comes strolling up?
You see a very like tall, probably about 6'8", but very like slender and thin man approach you. So he's very lanky. It's hard to really tell what race he is, as he's wearing a plain gray mask. His hood is up. His cloak is very like baggy, so it's hard to really tell what it is under there. Wearing gloves as well, so just kind of a cloaked, masked, tall, slender figure wearing a chainmail shirt approaches.
Ooh.
Nice.
As
Yeah,
you'll-
so he's
and
wearing.
Just look all the way up at him.
Let's talk about that porcelain mask you're wearing a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yes, it was given to us to use for a disguise because we're not welcome in the Empire. As you mentioned, the Kryn dynasty just kicked off a war with them. So being a drow is a big red flag. So we have these masks we're wearing. They're porcelain. They're painted. Mine is just painted pure gray. It actually looks very similar to the face underneath, except Zagran has little tusks sticking out because he is half drow, half orc, but the mask doesn't have that. But other than that, it's pretty much just his face, but because of the porcelain kind of blankness of it, it's not readily apparent, and just looks like he's wearing a gray mask.
All right, awesome. And Kit Nessie, can you tell me what Zagran is seeing?
So Zagran's really, really tall, right?
Yeah, Relis, yes. Like 6'8"-ish.
That's very tall. Kit is like this. She's very short, very slight built. Appears to be a young human, like very early 20s. She is kind of hanging back slightly, but she has this fairly confident air about her. She's wearing like lots of tweed. She's got some trousers and like a waistcoat and a jacket with like this little pocket watch with like a little fob of a little bird on it. And yeah, she's wearing like this flat cap and she's got short cropped auburn hair. She won't like readily walk up and introduce herself though.
And for Essie, you're gonna just see a young woman, early 20s. She's got some elven blood. She's above average in height, although she looks very short in comparison. She's probably around like 5'8" or 5'9". Very thin and willowy. She's got like this long blonde hair that's usually swept up in like a high ponytail, straight blonde hair that goes down. Very piercing blue eyes, like the delicate pointed ears. She's usually wearing just comfortable, like well-made but comfortable travel clothes, nice leather boots. She does have a very nice cloak on though. Half gloves on her hands, and then she's got a contraption on her hip, and then one slung over her back. A couple different like pouches on her person that almost look like there's maybe some tools or maybe some gadgetry of some sort. She's ready to go for anything. She also has glasses on with like multiple different colored lenses that are like up and like a way that you can tell probably slide down over them if needed.
All right. So as Zagran, you walk up, he goes, Daylet, I would like to introduce to you Essie and Kit. They will be joining you and your companion. Where is he?
I believe he's just finishing his morning tea and he'll be with us shortly. Pleasure to meet you both. I'm Dalen, and he'll extend his gloved hand towards each of them.
Essie will clasp it and she'll say, Essie Pike, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Kit will take his hand, but she's just kind of giving them this openly appraising look, just kind of looking up because she's very short and but not unfriendly, and she'll kind of smile and nod, but she won't say anything.
When Essie was shaking his hand, she stood to her full height and like got herself as square as she can as she's checking him and the mask out, and she'll go, is the sun bothering you, friend? Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine, I assure you. It's a matter of. Well, I was just so inspired by the theater troops along the travel that I purchased a mask from one of them, and I'm trying on a new identity, taking on the road, and with the war approaching this side of the border and the recent fall of Ashgard Garrison, my companion and I are attempting to make our way further from the border, and I just wish to start anew. I'm sure you can relate or understand.
Quick tidbit, Essie, you have not heard that Ashgard has fallen. In fact, Ashgard is a fairly modern fortress that was built to keep out the hordes from the Jorhas waste of Jorhas, right? So news that the Ashgard garrison has fallen is surprising.
She'll look like real taken aback, and she'll say, the garrison fell. When was that? How
Oh,
long ago?
maybe about 6 weeks. 'Cause we were traveling for 4 and it had recently fallen. So,
Probably 4.
okay. About a month ago, actually. The war drums are beating heavily on both sides of the border. I'd
How
always
close
hoped that
were
it.
you?
Oh, just a few miles. I didn't live at the garrison myself, but wasn't far off, my companion and I. And, well, once we heard that it fell, we knew we needed to make our way towards safety.
She'll just look real, like, contemplative for a little bit. I can't believe the garrison fell. That's big news. I'm sorry, friend. I need a moment to process that. How'd you and your companion get away?
Well, because we weren't in the garrison proper, we heard of the clash and spells going back and forth. It was not discreet, we'll put it that way. My companion and I quickly fled through the woods and managed to make our way towards safety, where we've been slowly traveling, making our way. Hopefully this caravan will speed along our travels. Safety in numbers. There's a lot of danger in these wildernesses, I'm sure you're aware, and with the Kryn already on our side of the border, I certainly hope not to be caught up in the war as they march their way this way.
I think that's everybody's goal, is to not get tied up in this horrible war.
Indeed. And yourselves, what brings you to the Amber Crossroads?
We're making our way to Icehaven. To the Pale Banks is our final destination.
Lovely, lovely. We're actually hoping to make our way similarly. We might have more time to chat and catch up on one another as we travel. And then Zagran/Dalen kind of looks around and says, Dennis, come meet our new friends. Fortunately, we won't be protecting the caravan alone. We have some assistance that Brave has decided to employ.
So out from the tent, this figure stands up. He's cowled. He's wearing this long robe. His hands are kind of gripped around a hot cup of tea. And when he turns and looks, he's wearing this paper white mask with a Corningware tiny little blue flowers going up it.
I don't know why, but that just sounds so creepy.
It's so crazy. Yeah, and he looks over and he walks over and just kind of stares at you guys a little bit.
You and your
He's
friend
about
both
6'1".
have a penchant for troop masks, huh?
We're nothing if not dramatic.
Yeah, I can tell that just from just a couple glances. I'll have to check out the troop and see if there's a matching set if we're all going to be protecting the caravan together.
Oh, it wasn't the local troop here. We managed to stopped by a tavern on the way, and this wonderful performing troupe had these masks for sale, and I just had to support them in any way that I could, and I've taken quite a liking to it.
Well, that's too bad. It would have been nice to get matching masks for the
Okay, question. Does it seem like, just out of curiosity, because Kit is also trying to, lay low as far as her identity goes, does it come across as genuine, or is it kind of obvious that these two are trying to conceal their identity?
I think it's more that Zagran's trying to come across as eccentric rather than concealing something, so he's not bold-faced lying so much as he's just a weirdo. Is kind of his cover that he's going with right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that there's something strange about these two. They have
Mhm.
accents that you have never heard before. They have accents that neither of you have ever heard before. Obviously, there's, they just look different and seem culturally very strange.
You said you were from the Ashgard garrison area. I've never heard accents like yours. Do you hail from there, or do you come from somewhere else in the Empire
It's
or
small-
beyond?
A small village not far from the garrison. Being so close to the border, we managed to develop a little bit of our own culture. Despite the embargoes, if I'm being honest, there was trade amongst the Empire and the Dynasty that occurred under cover of the forest, and so my ancestors probably picked up a little twang from the Kryn on the other side of the border there.
You got your own dialect in this little village of yours? I'd love to study it. No, I'm not as good as my mother, but languages are definitely something I'm interested in.
I can't say I had noticed the accent until I came closer to the heart of the Empire here, and I thought we all spoke like this, if I'm being honest.
With that, Bravelight, who's like, well, this is all very interesting, but I will leave you be for now. Dalen, should you or Dennis need my services, you have but to ask. And he begins wandering off. Your last guest should join you soon.
Our last guest.
I have one more who heads also to Icehaven.
Well, you managed to sucker 5 of us, Brave. And he'll give like a laugh, like he's joking, but he's not joking.
He just smiles at you, nods a bit, and starts walking off kind of slowly. See a little tail flick.
As they're all standing together, Essie she'll just kind of look between Dennis and Dalen, and she'll just say, I'm more of a long-range combatant, although in a pickle, close is a riot for me. I'm working on a device that'll make it a little bit easier. You frontliners, or are you more in the back support? If we're gonna be fighting together, it's probably best we sort of get a handle on what we can all do.
If I'm being honest, I'm not much of a combatant myself at all. In fact, we paid for travel, or had payment arranged for travel in this caravan, and it wasn't until we arrived that we knew that we would be employed as well as guests here. The only thing I really have, and he'll reach in and pull out just a dagger. I suppose this could poke someone if I got close enough.
That's really interesting, because when I contracted for this, it was pretty much pretty upfront that we were going to be working for our travel. It's interesting, you didn't know that.
No, in fact, it was quite a surprise, and I suppose it's of no bother at this point. With the accompaniment, I imagine I won't need to use this. And he'll kind of like gesture to the 3 others, and then hold up his little dagger and be like, I don't know what to do with this.
she'll just. Essie's trying to be real polite about it, but it is getting on her nerves that somebody's gonna be letting other people take responsibility instead of him. So she'll just kind of her smile is gonna become less genuine and a little bit more prickly. And she's gonna say, "I just don't want you to be a liability in a fight. If you're really that unaccustomed to battle, it might be better that you just stay on the wagons instead of tripping us up on the battlefield."
I would wish for nothing more, friend. I would wish for nothing more. I'm optimistic that we can make it there in safety one way or another, but yes, perhaps if the danger arises, you can find me behind the wagons rather than in front of them.
Silius is gonna pull back his robe a little bit and expose this kind of like hand crossbow dangling from his side, and then just cover it up and go back to sipping tea.
Zagrin gestures towards Silius and says, "That's my weapon."
Essie, her gaze will switch over to Dennis, and she'll do a sweep over, like sizing him up, and she'll say, "You look like you can handle yourself, friend," and she'll just reach out a hand and to shake.
He looks at your hand and extends it. And you can tell he's got these like hand wraps around his wrists, and his knuckles are all tattooed, and he's full of tattoos on his hands. His gray bluish hands. And yeah, he shakes her hand but doesn't say much.
Does he seem like she's not strong, but she'll tighten her grip to see if he matches. Not like she's not strong enough to hurt him, just FYI, but she'll just do a firm grip to see if he reciprocates.
Well, he's got like, despite the look, it does seem like he's giving like a limp little handshake.
So you're more of a ranged combatant yourself, huh?
As you
could say that.
As this conversation is going on, Silius, you notice in the background, riding into the crossroads, is a group of what looks like four guards with a robed and hooded figure at the front in very nice clothing, but it looks like a relatively strong guard patrol of actual soldiers, not just the guards you've seen, but proper Righteous Brand soldiers are riding into the crossroads from the south.
And do we recognize any of them? Or do I recognize any of them?
You don't recognize them individually, other than to know that you now are seeing soldiers coming in. And they seem to be slowing and stopping and beginning to talk to folks as they move into the crossroads.
It's nice that we'll have some Righteous Brand soldiers. I didn't realize they were going to be part of this caravan, or are they just here for the
So
little
to be
bit
clear,
and then
Essie,
they're moving on?
you're facing in, right? So Silius is the one noticing this
he's
with his
Mhm.
cup of tea.
All right.
I kind of turn my back and I look at Zagrin and I'm like, a word with you, Dayland.
Of course. It was a pleasure to meet both of you, and I'm sure we'll have more time to get to know one another on our travels. But if you will, just excuse me for a moment and kind of
Yeah.
turn and walk away.
It was a pleasure. She'll just turn back towards Kit, and I'm assuming they maybe have Freya and Bryn with them, or maybe left them in the camp.
Yeah, so you can set them up at the camp, and at this point, the caravan is happy to care for all of your horses, so they can have them as well and be taking care of them while you get ready to leave. You should be leaving in 3 days, so you have tonight, tomorrow, so 2 days and a wake up until you leave. So you say it in the army: 3 days and a wake up, 2 days and a wake up. Really eager to get out. 2 days and a wake up.
Kit will just pull Essie aside and kind of quietly say, I've never seen anyone quite like that. Have
As-
you?
As y'all get a moment to chat with each other, Kit, you also notice the soldiers have come up, and it does look there's four soldiers and a very well dressed figure at the head. Looks like they're wearing, again, like a cloak and fine robes, and they are starting to stop and talk to people. and go through the campsite.
Guards, Lord Zagrin.
Sorry, let's pause on you two and let's go to Kit and Essie for a minute,
Oh.
and then we'll hop back. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
So
they were real strange. I don't really know what to make of somebody that's trying to guard with limited capabilities.
when Kit sees this, you'll see her face kind of just change. Did you see that? She'll point over and kind of
The
pull up
soldiers?
a hood.
I don't think soldiers are going to be the ones that are. And then she'll kind of lower her voice. I don't think soldiers would be after us. I think you're
What-
safe from soldiers.
What are they
Just-
doing?
Well, with the banditry and after the war started, I mean, you know the bandits on this road are bad. Maybe they're just could be that. It could be I don't know. Could be patrol to check for guards from Xhorhas or soldiers from Xhorhas. Could be really anything.
I'd like to be safe anyway. Maybe find a spot to lay low until they leave.
You know, you can go back to camp if you want. I'll take care of us with the soldiers. You don't have to worry about that.
Kit or Essie, or both. Would you like to give me a perception roll just to see what you see? about these
I
folks?
definitely would.
Okay. Or is it one or the other or both?
I'm happy with either or both.
All right, I'll do it too. Elspeth Pike guarantee of excellence. 18 total.
21 total.
Yeah. So just catching it, right? You see kind of a dynamic developing where they're starting to stop folks who are moving, and you see like you're not the only folks that have noticed them, right? Like Kit, you certainly have gotten the impression since you've been here. If you're hanging out at the Amber Crossroads, it's probably because you're not looking for a ton of interaction with officialdom, right? And these guards do look like they have a purpose. So you have the guards that 4 rode in on horseback. 2 of the guards have dismounted and are stopping people and talking to them and clearly have a purpose, right? And that 5th figure, the one at the head with the cowl and stuff, it does look like fine clothes, and they do look like they're in charge. And you can see the soldiers looking back at that other figure. So this looks to you, especially Kit, with your particular. So both of you see that. Kit, with your particular instincts and knowledge, these are soldiers looking for somebody or something.
I don't know. What do you think they're here for? It's not the savoriest place in the area, but
I don't want to take any chances. I don't think they're here for me, but I honestly don't know who's after me, so
why don't you? Do you feel more comfortable going back to camp? I'll handle a questioning for both of us.
if you don't mind, I'd
No,
like to make myself
don't mind at
scarce.
all.
All right.
You just lay low. Make sure Freya and Bryn are all right, and if you're real worried, you could saddle them up and be ready to go. But
Could you keep the horses?
could I keep them? Like
Are
ready
the,
to
wait,
go?
are the horses with us or not?
So y'all tell me. So you could have left
Okay.
them with the caravan, or you could have left
Okay.
them at your campsite.
Okay.
No matter what, you didn't take them on this walk.
I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
they'd be at our campsite.
Okay. I'll see what happens, but I'd really just like to hide.
All right. Well, you can feel free. I'll take care of this for us. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Of course. You can just let me know if anything crazy happens. I'll take care of this.
All right. So
Right.
what are you two gonna do at this moment? So Kit, are you heading back to the campsite?
So what does the terrain look like exactly around here?
Yeah, great question. So it's a big flat area where 5 different roads meet, right? So 5 different roads meet here and go off in a bunch of different directions. There's a big flat area that looks like people regularly set up camp here. In the center where the roads meet, there's actually like a big, like there's some market stalls. Like vendors have set up things. You have carts that pull up besides other carts and kind of trade goods. Like it looks like this is a spot where caravans load up stuff without going into cities, trade with each other. You can also buy stuff from a local market, and things like this artisan troop. So this troop or this set of troopers have set up a little stage and they're doing songs and other acting. And there's a number of different campsites, and a stream runs through the whole area. So most of the campsites are not too far from the stream, but in a little bit of a raised area above it where the ground is very tamped down and fairly dry, good drainage, all that stuff. The caravans and the animals tend to be parked on the camp and the camps and the stream are to the east of the crossroads, north and east. The caravans and the animals. So the caravans mostly get parked on the west side of the crossroads. That's where the wagons are at. And a lot of caravan folks stay in their wagons, right? So it's kind of another camp, and then the animals are more to the south and west.
Okay, she's gonna try to just move. If there's like a good number of people, she wants to move in a way that she's gonna blend in with people.
Yeah.
That's how she knows. That's what she knows how to do best, basically. Being
To-
from.
The
To
market
assist her
area.
in
Oh,
that.
sorry.
I was just going to say, to assist her in that, I'll actually just walk up towards the figure that seems to be in charge.
Yeah, great. So you're going to the south side. They're just starting to. It seems like they're starting to question folks. Kit, going to the market area. That's where you find most of the folks who are chatting. It's not a huge crowd, probably 15 folks over there right now, but it's not nothing. And then otherwise, there's a bunch of people at campsites, and you see folks going out getting water from the stream and bring it back to their camps. Right? You see a lot of kids and other folk that look like they don't have stuff to do, doing that. And there's a couple spots where you have like mercenaries or adventurers that look like they might be sometimes bandits, sometimes caravan guards sort of folk. They're camped a little bit more to the south.
And are there any places where it looks like she could get behind a building or a wagon or something?
Heading over to the caravans,
Mhm.
absolutely. Right? Heading over to the caravans absolutely seems like a good place to go. And what like the few interactions you've had with, the wandering caravans, is it's not a bad place. If you wanted to sell something that you wanted moved out of town, these caravans are the one to do it. And you wouldn't be shocked if the caravans had good spots for something that they didn't want inspected or found to hang out, right?
Okay.
So you think you're gonna head the caravan way?
Yeah, I'll definitely go towards the caravans, trying to do so in such a way where I don't stand out. And
Great.
look
All
for
right.
a place to hide once we get there.
I'll come back with rolls for both of you. And Essie, you're going over to talk to this figure and just kind of see what's
I'll
up.
just walk towards him casually, but with purpose.
Absolutely.
Like straight to the top is kind of her thought process.
Great. I love
Top
it.
to top.
Yeah,
Top tier,
let's
top tier.
pause because I love this. Let's pause on you two. And Zagrin and Slayus, what are we up to? So you're going back to your tent and you're having a quick chat.
Guards.
Zagrin will look over and quickly turn his gaze back once he's seen the 5 guards. And, well, I suppose we had to imagine they would investigate the death of one of their own. I don't like the looks of this, but I know that creating a scene now is in our best interest. And perhaps we just await in our tent and hope that they find something more interesting before they get here.
Agreed. We should make ourselves scarce.
Yeah, so kind of just go back into their tent and be quiet, drink their tea.
Just kind of lay low. Is
Yep.
anybody going to keep a watch?
Yeah, I'll
Jagger.
I'll keep a lookout. I'll be like by the flap. The fair one. She asks too many questions.
Yes, I suppose that we are curious a lot in this neighborhood. Perhaps it's best that we keep our cover as a pair of eccentric travelers. But if we can, the fewer questions, the better. I agree.
Perhaps we should have learned how to juggle.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, take an inspiration for learn to juggle. Yes, I agree. All right, we're going to go to Kit. Give me a stealth roll. I want you to get over there without being noticeable. So roll me a stealth.
Yes, so she'll be subconsciously kind of grasping at the key.
Quick note,
Yes.
being quiet will not aid you. In fact, being supernaturally quiet might make you stand out.
Okay. Okay. That's a good point. She would probably know that. She would probably be used to trying to blend into a crowd, and if there's a lot of people around her, then that's what her goal will be. So let's see, that's not too bad. That's a 17.
17. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, don't say that, Jason.
Essie, you start walking over to the group. So you see, you see the guards, right? They're starting to stop folks. You see the figure in the lead. As you get a little bit closer, you see that this figure is a woman. She's a woman. She looks fairly young. She's really well dressed. Like very fine, like noble's clothing. And her cloak is clasped, and the clasp has the symbol of the Cerberus Assembly on it. This is a wizard of the Cerberus Assembly. So this is someone here on, imperial business, who is ordering these Righteous Brand soldiers about, and they're stopping folks. And she points down at one of them. She goes, check them. And the guards go stop, and you see them stop this person and begin asking them questions and rifling through their bags and pockets and stuff, and like getting a good look at their faces.
I'll just approach, but not from like I want her to see me approach. I don't want to startle her in any way.
She looks at you as you're coming over, so she acknowledges you.
Hello, I'm Elspeth Pike. She'll just reach a hand out.
She goes, Pikes. Why do I know that name?
We're the forefront of, and her hand is still out, fusing magic with more mechanical means in the Empire. We've worked for the Crown for my family.
Oh, of course, the Pikes. Yes. And she's sitting there, and she crosses her hands over the pommel of her saddle, and she goes, "Well, what are you doing all the way out here without your famous father and mother?"
Essie will do her best.
She kind of leans down,
even if she's on her horse, to like give her that haughty, "I'm looking down on you."
Right. She's definitely doing the exact same thing.
And she will, her hand, she'll slowly reach down and she'll start patting her horse's, the woman's horse, and she'll just say, "Well, you don't think everything I do is with my parents, do you? I'm my own person. Business in this place."
Moving out of your father's shadow, then. Well,
I
good
think
for
you'll
you.
find that I surpassed him a long time ago, but appears that you're finally leaving the nest. Did you finally get a nice assignment where you could actually get out and do something for a change instead of just sitting behind your near tower?
Okay. Well, give me just a second. I have to.
I
Adjust.
wasn't going to antagonize this woman before. She started out with a punch.
I have to adjust something real quick.
Must be nice to get some actual life experience for once in your life instead of just studying tomes in a dusty library.
Okay. So, do you think you recognize this person? Do you think this is Jasmine?
If it's Jasmine, I would 100% recognize her.
Okay. Yeah. We're just doing that. It's Jasmine. This is Jasmine. So this is Jasmine Truman. So you recognize her as you get closer. This is Jasmine Truman.
She will finish out that speech then with, in a dusty library, Jasmine.
And she goes, well, well, that's interesting. So now, what's your business here exactly in the Crossroads? I am on Imperial business, and I would have you answer me and let me understand, as I am hunting for fugitives. And she looks at you significantly.
Did your daddy get you that position?
You can answer now, please.
Oh, well, I'm sure. You want to run off to the crowd and tattle on me? I'm sure that the Pike, what we've done for the crown, is probably at least a little above what the Truman family has done in recent years. And then she'll kind of laugh and like stroke her horse, like her horse's neck, and she'll say, "Jasmine, it don't have to be like this. You know, we can calm down. Let bygones be bygones, right?"
Takes a minute. Now, Elspeth, I've been more than patient. I am here searching for fugitives who have killed a member of the Crown's Guard. Travelers heading north from Zadash.
They sent someone as green as you to take care of something that
Now
big?
tell me, what is your business here at the Crossroads? And this will be the last time I
Jasmine.
ask in a kind fashion.
Oh, Jasmine. You gotta rein it in a little bit. You gotta, like, loosen up a little bit. Come on. I'm here because I'm going to the ice. I'm going to the Pale Bangs. There's a dig site there. And I like to get in on it. Me and my servant are on our way. You know,
So
Mom and
just
Dad
the
have
two
got
of
some
you.
business. Do I need an entourage every time I leave the dash?
No, Elspeth, you do not. However, I am looking for 2 fugitives.
Oh.
Tell me, how long have you been here?
Oh, come on. By the holy gate, Jasmine. You really think I killed a righteous brand soldier? She'll just actually roll her eyes and, like, flip her hair behind her shoulder. Just because I'm strong enough to do it, I'm not stupid enough to do it. You know that for a fact. We've been here for 2 days now. You can ask anyone in here.
2
Been
days.
going to the troop.
And where exactly can I find
Oh.
your companion?
Oh, jeez.
I would have this story
She's with the
confirmed.
horses.
Well, let's go.
Jasmine, she'll actually, like, crack her neck and look at her, and she'll say, "If you want to throw your weight around, that's fine. But I'll have you know that I can throw mine around just as easily. You really want to do this? You just want to let it go and say, you know that I had nothing to do with that."
She leans forward over the pommel and she goes, I can think of nothing I would rather do at this moment.
I'm sure your daddy will be hearing from many people if you actually pursue this.
We'll see.
I think you actually might have some better things to do with your time.
Let's do roll me an
than-
intimidation because this is great. Yeah, please roll me an intimidation, Nessie.
Which of these dice are not gonna?
And if you don't have an inspiration, oh, you do. Okay, great.
Oh, do I have inspiration?
Well, you have one marked on your character sheet, but I would have awarded you one for how incredibly.
All right, I will
Incredibly
use
bold
my
to move this way.
inspiration. Oh, that's really good. Intimidation. 20, dirty 20.
Okay. And she goes, but I believe you are right. You don't quite fit the description. Although I'll be curious to learn more about your traveling companion.
What, you mean these attackers weren't drop dead gorgeous? Sorry to hear that.
Well, if you must know, we believe that there are some Kryn agents that came through here recently.
They're this far into the Empire?
You'd be surprised how far our enemies penetrate.
She'll drop the arrogant, I'm conceited look for a moment. She'll say, Jasmine, I heard about the Ashgard garrison. How long ago did that happen?
She looks a little bit surprised for a second, and she goes, "Oh, I guess I shouldn't be shocked. Do you have sources?" About 4 weeks ago, I wasn't there, obviously, but the word is that Drow infiltrators burrowed in from under the garrison. These vile beasts, these plague-touched elves.
She'll hold up a hand and she'll say, just because they're different from you, Jasmine, does not mean that they're wicked. They're fighting for their homes just like we're fighting for ours.
She looks at you as you say this, and she looks surprised. She goes, "You would do well to be cautious about where you spread sedition.
Jasmine,
You
Then she'll
you won't find the favor that your father has earned pulls you so far, especially with these reverses. But carrying on, they
How
took the
many
garrison,
died?
said thousands. It was a debacle. The garrison was entirely routed. They have some magic that allows them to block out the sun. Night is fallen over the entire pass, a perpetual night.
I can imagine morale was at an all-time low.
Well, we rally troops and we ready ourselves. But here, inside of our borders, we suspect that more spies and more infiltrators are working. Hence, this search. Now, we're looking for 2 fugitives who may be Drow. Have you seen anyone?
I haven't seen
Anyone
Drow.
acting strange?
To be honest with you, Jasmine, isn't that everyone here is strange at the crossroads?
Okay, quick pause. Seleus, you do notice that the people you were talking to, the one has gone and disappeared off into the crowd. The other seemed to have marched right up and is having a long conversation with this group of guards. I'm just going to leave for a minute on Zagrin and Seleus. See if y'all want to talk about anything. Just curious.
What do you see out there, Seleus? Yeah, we're in our comfort of our
Yeah.
tent. I'll use his name.
The fair one is talking to the guards. Maybe they seem to be. I believe they know each other.
Well, I might have raised our profile more than I would have liked in speaking with her. I didn't expect the guards to be looking around this area. Although, I suppose the guards may just be passing through. We certainly should avoid their gaze and avoid their attention to the extent possible. We should come up with an exit plan in case we need to get out of here quickly.
Your disguises seem to work quite well in the past. Perhaps that may be an option.
Absolutely. And Zagrin will pull out his disguise kit and very quickly kind of take off his mask and take off the cloak so he has more of his skin exposed, and whips up just it's hasty, and he doesn't have time to cast his spell to harken back from his past lives, but he's gonna try to just whip up a quick disguise for the two of them.
Give me a
Don't
roll.
come in here.
Give me a roll.
22 with a nat 20.
Nice.
Oh,
Great. Selaeus, you're trying to keep watch, but the sun is just brutal. You're having trouble seeing much. So you can see them talking, but that's about it. We're gonna shift the camera back over to Kit, actually. So Kit, you make your way over to the caravan, and you can see Brave Light and the whole High Slopes caravan. There's a lot of kids over here. Over at the caravan. Like, now that you're getting to see it a little bit, the caravan in total is 8. Is it 8 kids? No, I'm sorry. 10 kids. 10 kids total. So it's a lot of tabaxi. You've got a couple of groups of halflings, and then you've got some humans, a half orc, and a tiefling woman. The tiefling woman seems to mostly be caring for the animals. The halflings share, like, there's like one really pretty kitted out wagon, right? That looks like it's got two little homes, like, actually built into it, like an RV, but for caravans. And like, it looks nice. There's like smoke coming out of a little chimney, or 2 little chimneys, one on either side. And so you see the halflings are set up in there, and then there's a bunch of the tabaxi are hanging out. Some of them are like chilling, some of them are playing games, some of them are playing music, and otherwise they're just chilling. But you see Brave Light over there with the caravan. He's talking to folks, and he sees you and he looks over at you as you come in. So go ahead.
Is there like a group of kids playing?
Yes, absolutely.
She'll walk up to the kids and just kind of, she doesn't have to really bend down to get to their level. She's pretty close already. She's pretty small, but she'll greet them. She'll say, "Hello. Just like to come over and say hi. What are you playing?"
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different kids. So a bunch of the tabaxi kids, the halfling kids are all kind of playing together. They're playing a bunch of different games. Like, some of them are like pretending to sword fight. A couple are wrestling. You know, some are playing a game called Jacks, right, where they're like bouncing a ball and picking things up. You know, just little kid games. Among that group of kids is actually someone that at first you think is a kid, then you realize is actually a full-grown adult, who is only 2 foot something, and she's hanging out with the kids as well, and she's just like playing with them and whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a quick description, right? So she's about 2'8", and as you look at her, she's wearing like not super nice clothes, but good travel clothes. Good travel clothes. Actually, give me a quick perception roll if you don't mind.
24.
Yeah, great. So you see this halfling woman. So she's got good travel clothes. She's got braids down the center of her hair that run down her back as far as you can see. That run pretty far down her back. She's got the sides of her head like shaved down real tight, and you can see along the sides of her face on the right side, you can see some dragon scales. Actually, there's some scales, red scales that go all the way down her neck and kind of disappear. You also see that on her neck and running down her shirt where you don't see dragon scales, you see some tattoos. Look very like they look like they were very like not done by some fancy tattoo artist, but done like by someone very limited tattoo materials, right? And she's got actually some tattoos now that you're seeing it. Tattoos on her fingers and hands. And she's playing with the kids and seems to be having fun. She also has a dagger at her hip with a very well-worn handle. Like, it looks like it's had the handle redone a couple times, and this is someone that has used this dagger before, right? It's something that they are gripping a lot. she's like, as the kids are playing, she like looks over at you and she goes, "Oh, hello."
Sorry, that was actually 22 because I can't do math. But
Okay.
anyway, she'll approach and
Broad
she'll
strokes is where I'm going.
Okay. She'll say, "Hello. I'm Kit, and I'll be traveling with the caravan, and just wanted to introduce myself. Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you, Kit. I'm Calamity.
Calamity. No offense, but when I walked up, I thought you were one of the kids.
She laughs. Well, it won't be the first time I've been confused. But no, just little.
So, what brings you to the caravan?
Oh, I'm traveling. What about you?
Same, just
Ah,
traveling. I'd like to ask you a question. I've been tasked to help with security for the caravans. So,
ah,
would it be alright if I took a look around? Just did a bit of a little look-see.
of course. It's
Of the
not
wagons.
my caravan, but brave light there. He can help, and I'm also providing some security.
So you're the other person.
I am, and I'm sorry, Kit. I can't say I've heard the name before.
Well, I'm with Essie.
Where are you from?
Coming from Zadash.
I'm sorry, Essie?
Essie. She's my companion.
What's her last name?
Pike.
She goes, no. Elspeth Pike?
You know her?
I've heard of her. I don't know her, but I've heard of her.
Oh,
You're telling me that you're traveling with Elspeth Pike? Where are you off to?
going to some, I don't know, some dig site up north.
Another dig. Oh, her family's famous for digs. Oh, this is exciting.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm not very familiar with all that.
Ah. That's fantastic. And she goes, "Well, Kit, it is just amazing to meet you. I can't wait to travel together."
Well, nice meeting you too.
Nice meeting you.
I'll get out of your hair and go take a look at the rest of the caravan.
Absolutely. So Brave Light is willing to let you kind of go see whatever you want. Do you want to share anything with Brave Light that you're looking to lay low?
No, I was actually gonna try to see if the kids would help me hide, but it wasn't a kid. It was a real person, a regular.
They were also
grown
kids, yeah.
person.
I agree. Kids aren't real people. That's the fair
I
statement.
was just gonna
Sorry,
ask. Are real
viewers.
people?
If you're a child,
You know,
think you're
Kit is
almost
really
human.
good with kids, but Paula is not. So I'm glad that I didn't have to roleplay that.
We don't want to hurt
Um,
our number one fan.
That's so true. That is very,
It's true.
very
All right, Alyssa, you're a real person.
You are a
Sorry.
real person, 100%.
My kid is, but not all kids. You don't want to give
Exactly.
them the wrong impression.
Hashtag not all kids. So she'll just she's not gonna say she just wants an excuse to basically be going around and like poking around
problem.
the wagons and stuff.
Okay, we're shifting back now. This is my camera. Shifting back to Essie. So, again,
So
um,
Essie's dropped a little bit of the arrogant, like conceited, a little bit as they have this conversation. Thousands. It's too bad. I hope this war ends quickly.
well, if we're strong and resolute and keep the traitors out of the Empire, we should be all right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some spies to find. You can't think of anyone we should speak to or see? She looks
No
at you
one in particular.
intensely.
Jasmine, don't take this the wrong way, but this is kind of a mean place for real strange people. So I wouldn't go pointing my fingers just at anybody. I can't bring anybody to mind that really tripped the trigger.
All right, Essie. Question for the human behind it. Do you have a sense that you know who she's looking for?
She might have a faint inkling, however, she has been all over the Empire, and her opinion, right, is that there's no perfect person, and she's not xenophobic like most Empire children are. And so she's very much in the mind like innocent until proven guilty. So she would never point somebody unless she's
I get it.
absolutely sure.
All for it. Give me a deception check, however.
Oh, thank God I rolled well. 17 total. I was like, I'm gonna kill Dalen and Dennis in the first episode.
All right, interesting. Thank you. So she leaves you, and she continues. She looks at you, and she looks at you hard. But they start harassing different folks and going through. And first they move their way over to the merchant stalls and begin talking to people. What do you want to do in this time, Essie?
Does it look like the Righteous Brand soldiers are unfairly harassing anyone, or is it pretty standard? Like,
well, they look like the whole bit is very like imperious is the word that I would use, right? Like there's no pausing, there's no Miranda rights, there's no due process. They are grabbing folks. If they're cowled, they're like pulling off hoods and looking at them, and they're like questioning people. And Jasmine is the whole time like supervising this, and the soldiers on horseback, right? Like they've got light lances, so big long spears and shields, and the two that are on foot are they've got swords. They don't have weapons out or drawn necessarily, but like they seem very ready to. And
Essie will start walking over and she'll pause and she'll like lay a hand on Jasmine's like thigh gently, and she'll say, "Just remember, Jasmine, these are citizens of the Empire. Be gentle." And then she'll actually go towards the people that were ransacked, and she'll start like, "Can I help you put that away?"
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, because you're wanting her to go kind of easier on folks.
I think I would have given myself the Elspeth Pat guarantee of excellence before I walked up there.
Sure. I think you're the only person that gets to decide if you've done that.
14 total.
Okay.
Not great.
Okay. So she looks at you and she goes, and continues in her haughty way to.
So Essie will then go to like one of the families or the groups where they were ransacked, and just like, "Can I help you put?" And as she walks away, like really under her breath, she'll mutter, "That mucksucker," and then she'll just, "Can I help you put stuff away? I'm sorry."
Nice. Okay, great. Great. We'll go back to Zagran and Slayus in a minute, but first we're gonna take a break. Thank you, folks.
Already?
I know. I want more.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really having a great time. Okay, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. So that's going to be 2:35 Central Time.
Correct.
And I'll remember to do all the bits of the announcement when we come back that I forgot before the break. All right. See you, everybody.
Ciao.
Oops. Oops. Sorry, one sec. All right, and we're back. This time, even on purpose. Hey, folks.
Mhm.
Thanks for staying with us through the break. If you were able to do so, my name is Jason. I'm your game master. We're hopping right back in. I'm just going to give you all a quick recap of what happened before the break. Oh, and before I do that, some more announcements. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, press the follow or subscribe. Makes a big difference to us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. If you like our show, tell people that you like our show. That helps, because that's how we're going to get more folks watching us. And I want to make sure, if you enjoy the ambiance, we're getting all of that from Tabletop Audio, and we're really grateful that they make this stuff because it's killer. And so I hope you enjoyed it. And with that, I'd say y'all want to hop back in. I'll give a recap and we'll go.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so we find ourselves at the Amber Crossroads. Essie and Kit have met with Zagrin and Selaeus, although they've done so with Zagrin and Selaeus operating under pseudonyms or travel names that they're using to blend in oh so well with the people of the Empire. While they were doing this, a troop of soldiers has come to the crossroads. 4 soldiers and 1 wizard have come to the crossroads looking for fugitives who are responsible for murdering a Crownsguard soldier just 2 nights ago, back at the bridge on the way to the crossroads. So, with that, we return to Zagrin and Selaeus, who are in their tent. Zagrin has done an incredibly good job disguising them, disguising themselves, or them and Selaeus, himself and Selaeus, whatever. You get what I'm saying. They're disguised. Some folks have been disguised, is my point. And they did a good job of that. And
do I see the guards coming over?
So you see the guards have moved over to the market stall, and they're beginning to bug folks there. So I'm going to kind of talk with you folks a little bit, because Essie and Kit, we know what they're up to for now. So you guys are the focus of attention for a little bit. So you see them move over to the market stalls, and again, they're continuing to do stuff, right? To like harass folks. Zagrin, you two have managed to kit yourselves up so that you look, as passable as you can. Look as passable as you can for the circumstances. Selaeus looks pretty good. He could be an elf.
Yeah,
You could be a
disguised
tall,
as-
strange person, a tall,
Right,
tall, strange
disguised-
half orc.
Right, disguised exactly. Him as a regular elf, myself as a half orc. But once we're finished the disguises, I will put the mask and cloak back on, just so, because that's how I've been traveling in the camp this whole
Right.
time. So it's not to
Right.
be different because the
Mhm.
guards are there back in the. So I'm a disguised person.
Right. No, I get it.
Hmm.
A disguise under your disguise.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to use like a secondary, like my blending in clothes. Put them on, put the mask and my other outfits in a bag. And
So you're
put them
no
over-
longer wearing your mask.
No, I look like a elf at this
Okay.
point.
Okay. So you're wearing a secondary set of travel clothes.
Hmm.
Okay, great. So that's where y'all are at. What do y'all want to do?
I mean,
Once,
we're gonna lay low, right?
yeah, once finished with disguise, Zagrin pulls out his dragon chess kit, because he is proficient in that, and just starts setting up a game and just passing the time playing the board game, laying low.
Okay, great. Great. You do see eventually Selaeus looking out. They move from the merchants to go begin talking to folks over in the camps. So they're now moving through the camps, and you see them actually going into tents and stuff.
Okay, roughly how far away are they?
At this point, probably 150 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look at Zagrin. I'm gonna say, "May the light of the Luxon guide you." Was an
And you
honor.
as well. Of course. But I imagine we'll have plenty of time to regale ourselves with stories of this once we've made it through. I remain faithful,
Indeed. I hope to see you on the other side.
of course.
And I
right.
leave the tent.
Where are you going?
I stand up and I start making my way to a horse, the closest one nearby.
Huh?
And I get on it and I yell, "Long live the Kryn dynasty!" And then turn and bolt into the woods.
Okay. So let's just deal with that for a quick sec. So I picked the wrong music. So give me just 1 minute.
And so they're about 150 feet
Yeah.
away.
No. I
Opposite direction.
Essie's gonna
What
pull
just
out
happened?
happy ending with that. She just reaches back, and her musket is out,
What?
and she'll sight down the barrel at him running on the horse.
So let's
for a moment.
slow down. All right, let's slow down.
Oh
Let's
my
just get established where everybody is, right? So,
Yeah.
as you get on the horse, right, you shout and you begin galloping towards the woods, right? As they've moved off towards the camp. Now, only the wizard is still on horseback. Only the wizard is still on horseback, and they're a good distance from you. The other guards are like searching through individual camps. As you do this and you start running, Essie, you went and helped the folks by the entrance. Where did you go after that? Did you go?
I would have just
towards
been kind of following them, to be honest, just kind of helping people out, making sure everybody's okay. So I would have been sort of keeping pace with them to some, like the righteous brand soldiers to some extent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not actually that far. So, let's say you're 200 feet from where this happens. So you hear some commotion. And me, actually, roll me a perception. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, come get it.
16 total.
Okay, so you probably heard something about the Kryn dynasty, and you do see a figure like galloping towards the woodline, away from the camp, right? Let's give me Slays. Can I get a quick initiative for you?
Yes, please.
And Essie, I want one for you as well.
I don't know if she'll pull a trigger, but she's at least
It's okay. Yeah, just give me an initiative.
14.
17.
Okay. So, as you do that, Essie, you can see some of the guards like begin running back for their horses, or all the guards begin running back for their horses, and you see Jasmine. You see Jasmine pull her wand and start charging. Give me just one quick sec to double check one fact here.
Oh, Jasmine's got range. Oh, Soleus.
Okay. So she begins charging, but there's a lot of stuff actually. Like there's a lot of campgrounds and stuff on the way of where she's going. So let's see how she gets through this campground. Okay. So her horse gets tangled a little bit as she's going, so she's not able to get a lot of speed. And she is wrecking some of these campsites as she goes, but she's beginning to chase after Soleus. Soleus,
I look like a normal elf, right now?
yes, yeah, but
Okay.
you're also on horseback, and you just shouted, something pretty seditious.
Yeah, I want them to think that I'm the one they're looking for.
A bolt of fire comes whizzing past you. It's not close, but it comes whizzing past you on the way. So it's now your go. You can get on the horse, you can get 100 feet of movement if you sprint.
How far away is the tree line?
The tree line is 200 feet.
Okay. I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
And I am going to burn 2 key points and cast darkness centered on me.
The horse won't be able to see.
Oh,
if
yes,
you do
that's
that.
right. The horse will be able to see. So my dash wouldn't work on the horse, right? If I chose to dash.
No. So you're essentially we're slipping in your movement for the horse's movement for now because that's easier than following the actual rules around horse initiative and things.
Okay, and the horse movement is what?
Like I said, you'll be able to get 100 feet of movement if you gallop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still going. I'll go full tilt.
Okay, great. Great, so that's you. Essie, you see this figure. They are galloping, and they are making tracks. They're probably now 300 feet from you, and they are charging towards the wood line. You can see Jasmine now caught up, tramping through some people's campsites. The horse, it rears up. And
You want me to make
that's
a
what they sound
company?
like. That's what they sound like.
Horse noises?
Hey. It's an awkward horse. It's very self-conscious.
Even more so
Hor-
now.
Take that as a horse fact, internet people. So the
Yes.
self-conscious horse makes the neigh, raises up, but she's able to get some movement. She's not getting far. She got just within shooting distance to get that thing off, and now this person is like well clear of the campsite and is close to the woods.
She'll have whipped Happy ending up and just sighting down the barrel, but that is outside of her range, so she will try to steady herself on something and release a breath, and she's gonna take a shot.
So it's outside of near
120 feet, I believe, is. So I don't
Close
even
range.
know.
So it's outside of the maximum range or outside of the short range?
It just says, yeah, it's the max range is 120.
Oh, then you can't shoot. So what's close range
Wouldn't
for
it-
it?
It's 40 to 120 is like a normal. I think beyond that would be at disadvantage, or I don't know how that would.
Is
go,
it
to be honest.
40/120 on the weapon?
Yeah.
So you can't hit things beyond 120. You effectively can't shoot things at that range.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So you'd have disadvantage from 40 to 120, right? 0 to 40, or really, I guess, 10
Okay.
to 40, you get, normal. 40 to 120, you get disadvantage.
Maybe. Then never mind. Then she'll just put it down and.
All right, so you see the soldiers scrambling. They're grabbing horses and they're getting ready to go. But that's going to be what they're up to. So Soleus, we're going to be now in a chase, effectively, right? Zagrin, what are you up to? You hear this?
Zagrin is caught off guard, not knowing that was Soleus's plan at all. But he like at first like goes towards the flap of the tent to like chase after, but then recognizes that would defeat the sacrifice that Soleus just took upon himself. He sits back down behind the chess set and takes one of the knights and just moves it very far on the board, puts it there, and just kind of looks at it.
Take an inspiration. That was
That was
an extremely cool move. Yeah. Great. So we're gonna worry about Soleus, you and the pursuers. So you're gonna get another turn. So let's see. Next turn, what's her name is gonna try and get clear of the thing. So Jasmine is gonna try and get clear of the camp, and she's finally able to do so. So she's now on your heels. So she's still far, and she's gonna take another shot at you. She's gonna take another shot at you, and I think that's a hit. So, what's your AC again?
19.
19. You take a firebolt slams into your back, and you take 10 points of fire damage. All right, your go. You will make the wood line this turn.
Okay.
And
I'm
she's 100 feet behind you.
Right. I'm gonna. The second I hit the wood line, I'm gonna stand up on the back of the horse, and as I pass some sort of low-hanging branch or something, I'm gonna leap from the horse, grab on, and try and scamper up a tree while having the horse run off.
Okay, so you're going to get into the wood line. Essentially, your plan is to get into the wood line and hide, right?
Hide.
Like jump into a tree and then hide. Okay, so here's what I'm going to need, because we're going to do this kind of skills check style. So as you
Okay.
get into the woods, let's see, I'm going to give her one more firebolt on you before you're into a good out of line of sight range spot.
Okay.
Okay, another firebolt from the distance like goes whizzing out of sight, right? So to get up on your horse and to jump in and get a tree branch, give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Oh no.
Plus
I'm
7.
nervous.
You want to use your inspiration? Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay.
26.
26. Okay,
No,
so
plus 7.
as you're riding, you crouch up, bam, land up on top of the horse. You're there crouched. You jump and like a good passing branch comes by. You jump, leap deftly, swing over, bam. You're standing up on top, right? Your horse
Mhm.
continuing to ride on. Give me a stealth check to see if this got noticed. You only have a 1 pursuer.
Ooh. 17.
Okay. So you go hide up against the branches. You climb a little bit higher into a well-shaded spot, and there you are. There you are, waiting back. You see that first pursuer ride on underneath you, but not far. And you see her stop and yell back, even within your vision.
Mhm.
Yell back, and now you see the 4 other soldiers come up on horseback, and she points the way you were going, and you see them all talking to each other, and they ride off in that direction.
Yeah.
They ride off in that direction. What is your plan? Like, are you gonna stay here till night? I don't. I'm not being sarcastic. Like, seriously, this is really cool, by the way. So are you basically thinking to stay here until nightfall?
I'm just trying to get the guards off of this track.
Yeah, so
I
they-
want them to follow.
They charged out into the woods, right?
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to keep an eye on this wizard. I'm going to maintain.
So they ride off, right? So you're now up in this high tree, right? It's what do you call it? It's like pine trees, but really big pine trees.
Mhm.
So you've got like a big pine tree branch. It's a pine forest, so pine needles everywhere on the ground, and they are gone, right? So you've got a spot now where you can easily wait till nightfall, if you like.
Rather than wait till nightfall, wait until the caravan goes to move.
Oh,
right?
so you're gonna wait a couple days.
Oh, no. Until nightfall. I thought they were leaving that day.
No. So you've got two
Couple days.
Okay.
2 days and a wake up.
So yeah, until nightfall.
Okay, great. So that's where we're gonna go with that. Sorry, go ahead.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
When he shouted glory to the Kryn dynasty, did his voice or accent sound familiar to Essie?
I don't see why not. Unless Celeste, were you doing like a special voice, or was it kind of your voice? The answer, he didn't talk very much, right?
That's true. He
Like,
didn't. Yep.
So
Mhm.
it sounded like a voice, right? And it sounded
Mhm.
weird, but it was also,
Mhm. Mhm.
And it would
um,
sound different whispering via yelling.
True. Very true.
yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well, that was friggin' amazing.
Do what I need to do to protect.
Essie
Yeah, that
is
was
just
freaking
she's just gonna walk up, like trot up, more or less, jog up to the people who I'm assuming it was a kerfuffle for Jasmine to be running through the tents and stuff. So she's just gonna be like, "You all right?" to anyone who's scattered because of it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was quite the. It was quite the deal, right? And the soldiers charged through after, right? Like just bam, towards the wood line. Like they weren't stopped. Like folks were like diving out of the way. Like it was. It was very much like
She's just gonna
a bad place to set up camp.
help anybody to their feet. Just, are you all right? Everyone all right?
Okay.
And while I'm in the tree, I'm gonna take this time for a short rest. So all I need is like about 4 hours.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, you got time. You're going to be hanging up in this tree for a while. So it was like midday. So you're going to be in this tree for you're going to be in the tree for hours. But this was a great,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic, well executed plan.
Yeah, and I try and put my back up against the tree branch and just kind of sit lotus.
Yeah. So to people watching, this is where I say you just can't prepare for everything, right? Like I did not.
Mhm.
Nobody saw that coming.
Keep you on your toes.
That was amazing. All right, sorry, getting back into business mode. So we're gonna go to the camp. Soleus isn't gonna be here for the rest of the day, but Kit, you're able to hang out at the caravan. There is a commotion, and you do hear the soldiers like charging off, galloping off towards the woods. Zagran,
Take a
anything
deep
you're
breath.
gonna try and accomplish today?
No, Zagran is staying in his tent, not gonna leave for anything. Just he has all the supplies in there. He's camping out for the night or the day.
Okay, great. Essie, anything in particular you want to accomplish today? Aside from
Yes,
helping
actually.
sort things out? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I assume that I would have had a general. On average, how many people were like hanging around this caravan? Like too many where I could. Okay, so this is what I want to do.
So to be clear, there's four caravans here and the troop at this crossroads
okay.
at the time. Your caravan is made up of somewhere between 30 and 40 folks. The High Slopes caravan.
She's real curious. She's just gonna start trying to find anyone unaccounted for in the camp to see if it's just to kind
Okay.
of piece together who it was that ran off.
Well, you
essentially.
likely have a suspicion of who it was. Do you want to go check in on Dalen and Dennis?
I would love to. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So we'll do your check-in on Dalen and Dennis. But before we do, I just want to check with Kit. Anything that you're going to try and accomplish today?
No, she's feeling much relieved now after the guards have gone. So
Yeah.
she's probably just relaxing, and I would imagine that she would have hooked back up with Essie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Essie
so you'll
would've
go
just-
hook back up with Essie. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Before she
Okay.
goes and checks in on Dennis and Dalen, she would have just hunted Kit down and been like, "You all right?"
I suppose they weren't after me after all. So
Doesn't seem like it, but if they do come back, I'm sorry if this is offensive, but I told them that you were my servant, one of the servants, just to
not at all.
wanted you to be
It's-
protected under my name.
It's the most likely story.
Kit,
You all
why
right?
don't you roll me a perception as you're heading back and meeting up with Essie?
Is
11.
Calamity
Okay.
just like peeking through the tent?
Yeah, you don't notice anything interesting. Sorry. Can
All right,
continue, ladies.
You all right? I don't know if you heard the kerfuffle, but some lunatic jumped on a horse and said for the Kryn dynasty glory and ran off. I think it might be someone we met today. I don't know that for sure.
Someone we met? Like one of the other guards?
Yeah, those two with strange masks and accents. It's not an accent I've heard in the Empire before. The mage, the wizard, I know her. She said they were looking for 2 people that killed a guard. One of the Righteous Brand soldiers.
I don't know these people's story, but it could very easily have been me they were looking for, so
I know.
I don't really. I try not to pass judgment on people.
Yeah. Me either, but I'm just gonna go check in on them, make sure they're all right. If I
What
don't
if it-
return by nightfall,
What if it turns out it was one of them? What you'll do?
I'm smart enough to negotiate my way out of it. Don't worry. All right, but if I'm not back by nightfall, start at their tent.
I'm curious what your plan is.
You don't
What's
always
your
need to have a plan.
But what if it is one of them? Do you plan to turn them in?
I don't know for sure. But it don't sit right with me. Using prejudice against folks. I know that Jorhasians are just folks like us. But they did kill a soldier out of the malicious intent. I can't just let that slide either. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, just so you know, you might already know this about me, but I have no loyalty to the Empire.
That's all right. That's why I'm not asking you to come with me.
Fair enough.
I understand you not being super patriotic as far as that goes, but soldiers, they're just doing their job, right?
That's
Can't
true.
fault them for that.
But I've seen a lot of soldiers doing their job and mistreating people.
I don't know if we'll ever see change good enough for that, but it's got to come from the top down. If it does. But I'm just gonna go check in on a couple things.
You sure you don't want me to come with you?
No, you lay low. You come find me if I don't come back in a decent amount of time.
I'd say Kit would plan to follow at a distance and keep an eye.
Great. Cool. All right, let's fast forward, Essie. You come over to the encampment where you saw Zagran and Selaeus. Give me a quick... Well, you're able to use your eyes. 1 horse, not 2, are left at this camp. I take it you're going over to the tent?
Yeah, she's just gonna look at the 1 horse and look out past the tree line. She's gonna say, "By the holy gate, you think you're doing a good thing, but it just becomes more and more obvious to anyone with half a brain." And she's just gonna walk up to the tent then, and she's not hiding her presence. She's just gonna be like, "Hello, it's Essie Pike. Y'all right in there? It's quite the thing that happened in the camp."
Zagran will yell out, not moving from behind his chest set, and just say, "Yes, quite all right. Seems to have the excitement seems to have died down for now, at least. But I appreciate your concern."
You mind if I come in for a second and talk about... We're gonna be on the road to guarding this caravan for a while. Might be good to talk about some tactics together.
I have already assured you my tactic knowledge is quite limited.
Listen, it don't hurt to talk a little bit.
Yes, we will have ample time to talk on the road, as you just mentioned. It seems almost foolish to be discussing this now.
Your companion around?
He left with the excitement, trying to keep me safe. I imagine he'll be back shortly.
She'll switch to Undercommon. And she'll say, I think you and I both know that's not true.
Zagran responds, also in Undercommon. Coming quickly.
She'll open the. She has a hand on Lights Out on her hip as she opens the curtain with one hand and ducks in.
Zagran's one hand is just like below the little chest that he has set up, and one is just moving a piece. And he looks up when Essie enters. And where's your companion?
Safe. She's not a part of this. And then she's just gonna say, I don't have anything against your kind, your people. Alright? There's a war going on, and I need to know your intentions.
My intentions are to stay safe, Miss Pike. That is my only intention at this point.
You here to disrupt this caravan? Or hurt anybody in any way? And
I don't
I'll have the
imagine-
truth.
I'm being honest when I say I don't imagine that starting any kind of commotion would be the best way to keep myself safe. I'm merely a traveler, that's all.
I don't think I necessarily believe that. But we all have things to hide.
And when she says that, Zagran will take his porcelain mask off, still in the half-work disguise underneath, but takes the mask off. We were attacked by the guards when we were traveling across the bridge into the crossroads a few days out. They didn't take kindly to the look of me and my companion, and without asking questions, we were attacked. My companion did what he had to keep me safe, and I believe that's what he's done now. We don't mean to cause any trouble, but we're merely travelers trying to stay safe.
She'll approach the table with the gaming set. She'll look at it and look at him. And then she'll tilt the knight onto the side and she'll say, what happens without your companion? Why is he trying so hard to protect you?
Well, unlike perhaps Mr. Light, I don't believe that dealings and wheelings are the best way to secure protection. It's a matter of a debt that can't be paid in gold or even mere time, but he's someone that I trust and someone that has sworn oath to make sure that I securely can pass through this land, and he's doing just that.
She'll retreat a couple steps and she'll just say, listen, like I said, I don't have anything against your people. If you don't show any signs of hostility towards any innocents, I don't think we'll have any problems. The moment that you threaten anyone on this caravan, well, we can leave that unsaid. We clear?
Crystal, Miss Pike. Crystal clear. And if I may, well, you may be understanding of my circumstances. I can't imagine that many of the other in the crossroads or even in the caravan would be so understanding and as open-minded as yourself. I promise not to hurt anyone. Certainly it's not my style, and certainly no innocence. But may I ask in exchange that this stays between us?
Well, God's breath, I already lied for you once today. Guess I'll be able to do it a second time.
Much appreciated, Miss Pike. Much appreciated.
She'll nod and she'll just like have a hand brushing it and look back, and she'll say, and I don't know who your companion is, but they need to learn subtlety. And then she'll just walk out the door and let it fall behind her.
As she says that, Zagran writes the night piece back so it's standing again.
Whew, I got chills. That was wonderful.
All right, she'll
Um,
walk back towards Kit.
Great.
But she does not want her back towards that tent, so she's gonna immediately like try to get in a position where it's like she can keep a peripheral look
Great.
on the tent. She gonna say, by the holy gate, what have I gotten myself into?
Okay, amazing. With that, Zagran, you're going to be able to pass the day. Soleus, you're also going to be able to pass the day up there, chilling, waiting for nightfall. Kit and Essie, if you'd want to go ahead and roll your check for this third day
Fails
of
with Pike Guarantee of Excellence. Ooh, a natural 19 plus a bunch.
great. Yeah, that's you only had to beat a 15. so-
28 total.
Yeah. Oh, you already rolled these, didn't you? Right. So the day that you leave, you'll be able to have your addition to happy ending. Call it a bayonet for want of a better word.
All right.
All right. So the only other thing that's going to occur today, depending on y'all's interest, Kit, if you take her back to the caravan, one, they're happy for you to actually go start setting up like with the caravan folk if you want to move your camp over. Same thing, Zagran, although I imagine you're not going anywhere today.
Nope.
But you'll be you'll be welcome tomorrow to set up your camp with the caravan folk. Do y'all, Essie and Kit, do y'all want to move your camp over, or are you gonna stay where you're at?
Sure.
I think we could move back closer.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a nice group, the High Slopes Caravan. Like, they're friendly. They're not like super warm and inviting right away, but everyone is polite to you. It's a lot of tabaxi, right? Like it's all 20 to 30 of them are tabaxi, right? And there's only like 30 to 40 total. Now you're getting to know them. There's two halfling families. You have the Gamwitches and the Fairfoots. You also have a human half-orc family, the Selters, an older man who's the one of the couple's fathers, and a half-orc man and a human woman. And you have a tiefling woman who is very about business, who is taking care of who tends to spend most of her time over with the animals, tending to them. And if you'll let her, she'll take care of your horses as well. When
She'll-
you do, oh, sorry,
She
go
will tell her. She'll just say, they're mostly all right, but they could be a little bit persnickety if you separate them. So I'm trying to keep them together.
Okay. Yeah, so the woman, like I said, tiefling woman, horns very much like bull horns on her head. And like, she looks older. She's got wrinkles, has spent a lot of time in the sun. Doesn't talk much at all. She just kind of looks at you and nods as you say it. She's got a one strip of white hair running down the center of her head, like stark white, not like gray, and that's it. Like no other hair on her. Wearing work clothes, all that stuff. And she just nods as you do it.
I appreciate it. She'll hand over. She'll just give her like a gold piece for taking care of the horses. If she'll take it, she'll say,
Yeah, she
I know
just
they
looks at
can be
you
a
as
little
you
bit
as you go
much."
to hand it. She looks at you. She spits, and she just grabs the horses. She's got like a nice big dip in. I forgot my spittoon. Sorry, guys. Next time. I know I owe the internet a spittoon.
All right. She's less thrilled about leaving Freya and Bryn with her now. She'll
You
return.
also notice she's carrying a short sword.
Knows how to take care of herself. I didn't mean any offense, she'll say as she walks off.
Towards dinner time, the camp is doing dinner. Towards dinner time, Essie, a young or a very small halfling person comes up to you and goes, "I'm sorry, are you Elspeth Pike?" And she fits the description that I gave Kit earlier, although I'm happy to re-give it if you don't remember.
That's right. And she'll just reach a hand down towards her.
She
Your
reaches a little hand up and she goes, "Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Elspeth.
Oh.
I am Calamity.
Calamity. It's nice to meet you.
Nice
you,
to meet you too.
You one of the folks Bravelight talked about?
I am. I hear that we're all heading to Icehaven together.
Yeah, of course. You wanna join us for dinner?
I would love it. I have to tell you." So she goes and grabs dinner and she's just talking to you. She's like, "I have to tell you, I've heard a lot about you. I read a book that your father wrote about, some of the journals about your adventures.
Yeah.
It must
Dusty
have
Dig
been
Sites. Was it volume 1 or 2?
Both, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay away. That story, to imagine all the adventures that you must have gone on, seeing all these places. I never left the tillage when I was small. And
Really?
well, smaller. And she laughs.
Yeah.
She gives you like
It's,
a elbow to the thigh.
Absolutely. I think I might have overtaken you when I was about 7, to be honest.
I can imagine. Yeah.
She'll laugh. Well, it's Calamity. It was a good life. Have you been outside the tillage much now, or is this your first big caravan adventure, or have you been somewhere before?
She takes a deep breath and she goes, "Well, this will, I think, be the biggest voyage I go on. I've decided it's time to make a change in my life. And I'm heading all the way north. I'm leaving the Empire."
Leaving the Empire? That's a big change. The war
Indeed.
got you spooked?
Well, it's not running from something. You see, I'm running to something. I want to go join. There's a group of, well, you may already know this, but they're folk looking up in an island called Iselcross. They're searching for relics, and I was gonna
No kidding.
make my way up there.
Huh. She'll
I gotta
just
imagine
kinda-
you heading this way. Is that?
I'm heading towards the Pale Banks myself. You got a crew you're gonna be running with?
I don't know. I was hoping to find someone. Are you
I'm
you
looking
putting
for
some
people.
together?
Yeah, it's just me and Kit right now, but I might have room on the crew. What's your specialties?
She looks at you and she goes, "Well, I tend to be best at." She holds out her fingers and she goes, "heating things up." And as she does so, a little ball of fire appears
Oh.
in her hands.
You had any official training? Or is that something you can just do just 'cause?
As you say it, roll me an insight.
Oh, good. I don't have any bonuses to this though. That's a 16 total.
You catch something in her eye, like, and she goes, "Well, I've had to learn more than I would have liked, but it's in me. You see, when I was younger, and she indicates the scales on the side of her face. She goes, "When I was younger, something happened on the farm, and I felt this surge, and the scales appeared, and I could control fires, and since then I've learned more and more about how to use my powers. But something in my blood
That's
lets me
amazing.
control magic.
That's impressive. All of a sudden, you just got those dragon scales? Draconic scales? I guess it could be
Appeared-
reptilian in nature.
In a moment of, they say, in moments of extreme stress, those with a certain bloodline, it can manifest.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that means you're meant for something special.
Well, I can only hope. I'd love to have stories written about me someday. She smiles.
Well, depending on how this dig site goes up in the Pale Banks, might come sooner rather than later.
Right. As you're talking, one of the tabaxi from across the way goes, "Ah, you talk of dig sites. Have you heard the news?
Which news are you referring to?
I hear travelers tell that there has been a major discovery at Shettengrud.
She'll laugh. What are they saying about Shattengrod?
Only that something wonderful has been found. The Empire is abuzz."
I can't talk about it, but there's a lot of interesting things there. And she'll, like, almost subconsciously reach back and rub the back of her neck with her hand as she says it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, so with that, Calamity goes, "Well, Essie, Kit, this has been wonderful, but with all that excitement earlier, I think I'm gonna turn in early. But if you're looking for folk, I'd love to come along. I'm good with fire, and I'm not terrible with a blade." And she pats her dagger.
Essie, she'll say, "We'll have plenty of time to talk. I'd love to match our fighting capabilities. See what we can do."
Great. Yeah, whatever I can do. If you got a place for me on your crew, then I'm happy to accommodate however it can be. I'm just learning the ropes of adventuring.
It can be exciting.
I hope so. And she walks off.
She'll
Nessie.
look over at
Go ahead.
Kit and she'll say, "It happens more than you'd think."
I've got a fan.
Yeah. Well, they don't write songs about you without people inflating you a little bit. But in my case, it's not inflated. It's all real.
Don't worry.
And she'll elbow her.
I'll keep you down to earth.
That might be the best. I am working on a gizmo that will help me to fly.
Literally. Okay.
Yeah.
Could be
It can only
good.
it can only make me run faster right now, but one day I'll fly.
Well, it's been a long day. Quite tired from all that excitement. Feel better once we're on the road.
It's been quite the day.
How did everything go? Their little chat.
She'll
We're actually
just-
going to pause you two right there, and we'll come back to that. Selaeus and Zagrin. Selaeus, I take it you sneak back into camp at nightfall?
Sneak back into camp. I'm going to actually cast Pass Without Trace to leave the woods to come back in.
Yeah, great. So you sneak back into camp. You didn't see any more sign of your pursuers. Like they
What's that?
went off into the woods.
So I'm going to go up to the tent, up to Zagrin's tent. I'm going to
Okay.
say, under a gray moon.
Zagrin, like flustered and just excited, says, "Shadows, just get in here. I don't remember." Just like,
Yeah, he comes in, sits down. That should give them something to chase.
I must say I remain in your debt at this point. You may have just saved this whole expedition, and putting yourself at risk like that, I truly appreciate it and all you do for me, Slayus.
I merely return the favor. And I grab the knight piece and I put it back in his starting line.
Much better there, I must say. Always good to have you in my corner, and may you always head towards the light, Slayus.
As you. Now, how about some tea?
I believe that you've earned it. Let me fix the tea this evening. And
That's
Zagrin will start getting the brewery set, and make some tea.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if y'all want to discuss anything else, we can. Otherwise, we can roll through. Or, sorry, let's go back to Kit and Essie. Sorry, y'all, we're going to wrap up.
She's just gonna say, "I'll tell you later on."
Okay.
What I
And with that, we can end for tonight. Is everyone good? Sorry, I'm not. All right. So we're going to end for the night. So not end the show. Then the evening, the day passes. Y'all are able to get ready for the next day. So the next day, things seem to pass. Things seem to go into the day fairly uneventfully, and it's morning. And again, you just see more things pulling up. So carts rolling through, caravans rolling through. Another wagon comes up, and the High Slopes folk start unloading stuff from one wagon and moving it onto theirs, and vice versa. You can tell that Brave Light and the other folk of the caravan are busy gathering what supplies they're going to get for this trek. Anything in particular y'all want to do? Essie and Kit, if y'all will allow her, Calamity will hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
And
Essie's just gonna be working on her attachment all day, so she'll just be walking Calamity through what she's doing, and she'll just say, and then this hinge here is just I'm gonna smelter it a little bit and get it all set on there, and then I'm thinking that it'll be able to retract too, but that's the hardest part of this whole thing, is getting it to eject and retract smoothly.
Calamity has deft little fingers. If you want, she can give you advantage on one of your checks.
Oh,
although I think you're
sure.
already done on your checks at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just kind of walk her through what I'm doing and how to do it and what the process looks like.
Okay. It's another beautiful spring day, unseasonably warm. Birds are chirping. So let's go back to a little happier music. It's got a little bit happier music, as that now the minstrel's getting ready to move on, but they're doing one last a lot of music going on, right? So they're doing a little concert. And you got time if anyone wants to buy anything in the market. There's no guards out here today. You don't see any sign of the guards returning. People are out. There's some folk actually dancing around for the show. It's like a nice spot.
Essie will join him for a little bit.
Okay.
If they're doing traditional tabaxi dances, she's gonna try to learn how to do that.
I think Kit would be probably feeling a little nostalgic, I guess, missing her little crows, and so she'd probably maybe just hang out with the kids, and they're probably reminding her of the kids back home.
As you're playing with the kids, you see Calamity comes over to you, and out from the trees, you see this little thing. Looks like a bird. It looks like a bird, but as it gets closer, you can see it's got leathery wings and scales, and it comes and flies down, and it looks like a tiny little dragon. And as it does so, you see Calamity reach out her hand and grab this thing, and it's got something that it's munching on, and yeah, you just feel like even at a presence, you can feel like a joy radiating off this thing.
Is
As
she
it-
is she close to me?
Yeah, it's not far. And like the kids are all excited and they're like going and trying to like go see this thing, and it's like crawling around Calamity.
Kit is amazed. She'll go over and she's never seen anything like this before, so she'll just be asking some questions. Is that like a pet? What is it?
She goes, she grabs a little berry out of her hand and she feeds it to the little dragon thing. She goes, "This is Yenta. Yenta, say hi to Kit."
Yetta? Kit will just put her hand out and
It like licks your hand. It's weird
Oh my
raspy
gosh.
tongue.
It's so cute. Yeah,
I would
Kit is
also die for
smitten with it. Like she's in love immediately.
Yeah. So that's the scene over there. Zagran and Slayus. Anything in particular y'all want to do today?
Would definitely be sleeping during the day for most of the day, but to not arouse any more suspicion when he hears the music, Zagran will take in the show and back in his mask again and everything. And this
So you're gonna head out?
yeah, for a couple hours at least, we'll take in
Great.
the show.
Yeah, same. Silius will accompany you. He also wants to acquire maybe a health potion or two at a stall, if there is one.
Yes, you can give it a shot. For sure.
Mhm.
So let's do this. So y'all are gonna. So Zagran and Essie are over by the show. Calamity and Kit are over with the kids. And Slayus, you're gonna go to the market looking for health potions.
Mhm. I only have 15 gold.
Great. You are not going to be able to buy let's see if there are any first off.
And you will have known that Zagran has bribe money on him, so if you need money, Zagran's got money.
Yeah, so you do find a vendor that has two, but they're selling them two together for 100 gold. They're not going to sell them one at a time.
All right, noted. Yeah,
But that's the only person that has anything like that at this market.
Okay. Yeah, I'll meet back up. Watch the show.
All right, so you head over to Zagran. Head back over to Zagran. As it's going on, so that the show starts. The show starts going. The kids are hanging out. You hear some dogs begin to just go bonkers, barking. Right, and there's a lot of dogs over by the crossroads, but they're just starting to like lose their absolute minds. What do y'all want to do?
Can I make a perception roll?
Do we all hear
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah, dogs are like starting to lose it around the camp.
Oh.
So first, it's like a couple dogs over by the woods, and then like more of the dogs around the camp start barking.
Are they looking towards a specific spot, like the forest, or
It's hard to
down
see,
to
right?
the
Like
ground?
they're kind of dogs, like barking at different things, and they've all kind of taken. You know how dogs like take up
Mhm.
the bark.
Yeah, I rolled a 16 for perception with disadvantage.
Okay.
Does it seem
And-
like when a dog hears like a noise or something and like just starts, like a high pitched noise or something, and it like gets them like they're losing their minds,
It
or
sounds
more
like,
that they're alerting of something?
give me an insight or animal handling. What do you know about dogs?
I will-
Give me animal handling.
I'll start leaving the play and like start trying to check it out.
That is a 14.
14. Sounds like it's a you can hear some like this dog like the dog sounds, the original sound that you heard sounded frightened, and it's like a very like active bark. Slayus, you got a 16. Essie, were you doing something? I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna go start checking out, like leave the play and go towards maybe the first set of dogs, but I'll be looking around,
Yeah, great.
which is a 15 perception check.
Great. So the stream that flows past the campsite and then there's a little pool, and like it's a nice enough day that there are actually some kids like splashing and playing in the pool. Kit, like the group of kids you're with is actually headed over towards the pool, so they're on the way. And you're there with Calamity, and y'all are all walking over towards the pool, and you do see the frightened dogs barking like not far from it.
Okay.
Essie and Slayus, because you got good perception rolls, you can see some figures in the sky. You can see some figures in the sky, almost like big birds of prey, flying in towards the camp. It looks like there's a bunch of kids and some parents over at the pool. They're all kind of like having fun, gathering water, and you can see the set of things.
I'm gonna immediately start making my contraption, like my spider contraption. She goes, like, get out of the water, get to safety.
Kit will definitely, if she's noticing, I don't know if she probably doesn't notice the things in the sky yet, but if she's noticing like
do you want
the
to roll me a
dog.
perception? Yeah, you do see.
Sure.
You do hear the dogs. They're panicked and they're looking at something.
Oh, that's actually really good. Perception. That's a 19.
Yeah, there are two big flying creatures coming in, and they are beelining it for the pool.
Okay.
You're probably 100 feet from the pool.
Well,
And
the
there's-
kids that are with her,
Yeah.
she's going to immediately like yell to whoever's at the pool. She's like, "Take cover!" And she's gonna like look over at, because Calamity's with her, right?
Calamity's with you. There is. Hold on. Five of the children. So you've got one of the halfling children and four of the tabaxis. One of them is a teenager.
Okay, so she's going. Is one of the kid or any of the kids small enough to pick up?
Yes, most of
Okay.
them are.
She'll look over at Calamity. Does Calamity seem to know what's going on?
So Calamity's just like looking around, like trying to understand what's going on. She hasn't picked up on anything yet.
Is there a caravan or a wagon? Sorry, is there a wagon close by?
So the wagons are on the far side of the crossroads. The only good cover, right? The only like permanent structures here are the wagons, right? Otherwise, it's just tents. So the tents are relatively nearby, but they're just fabric tents. The caravans are probably 100 feet. You're probably halfway between the caravans and the watering hole.
Okay, well, she's just going to grab hands, gather up as many of the kids as possible, and yell to the other people to warn them, and then start running in the direction of the closest wagon.
Okay,
I'm-
great.
Provide
Go ahead.
cover fire.
So you're gonna shoot
At
at
these
this
creatures coming in?
distance. At this distance, the best you can do is fire off a warning shot and move towards the watering hole.
How far away are they?
So they're still small. Like you can't tell what size they are yet.
Oh.
Right?
I'm still going to create. She just kneels down on one knee and like creates her spider-like creature and attach it to the barrel of her musket, and she's gonna do the force ballista as just a backup, and then she's gonna try to make it towards the children to offer some protection.
Make it towards the watering hole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How
Great.
close am I to the watering hole?
You and all of them are. You and this whole group are about 200 feet from the watering hole. 150.
Okay. I'm gonna beeline straight to the watering hole as fast as I can.
Okay.
And the watering hole is approximately how wide?
15 feet.
Okay, perfect.
Dagger to
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah, so I kind of Naruto run.
Okay. so the folks at the watering hole still look like confused, like they're looking around confused, but you run over, and
Get out of the
like
water.
Parents are starting to like gather up their kids and like just like looking what's up. Essie, did you shoot your gun? Sorry.
No, I spent the time
Okay,
creating
preparing your gun.
my force
Okay.
ballista. But she was
Okay.
shouting like, "Get out of the water! Seek protection!"
Okay, so you're shouting at them that something's coming. All right. So they start to take a bit of notice. You see the figures get a little bit bigger, right? And it's you can see big wingspans and big tails. Essie and Kit, or Essie, they almost look familiar.
It's those things we saw on the road.
So they're not here yet, but you see them like line up, almost like fighters coming in for like a attack run, and they're swooping in towards the market.
So
To the market.
Essie's gonna like take a
Well, the whole
knee
thing's
and
pretty small.
her
Yeah.
musket's up and she's just like tracking them. And as soon as they get within 120 feet, she's gonna fire off her force ballista.
Okay, it'll probably be, give or take, another 12 to 18 seconds is your estimate at the
She
rate
just-
they're going.
She's a steady breath. She's just ready.
What's your range on the force ballista?
120 feet.
Okay, so same as the rifle. Got it.
Mhm.
All right, anybody else? Zagran, Slayus? It's hard to tell where they're going, but it sure looks like they were originally moving. Like now, more people have noticed, and you're yelling. People are starting to run. There's panic. People are running all sorts of different directions. People are running to the tents. Market stalls are they're ducking down by their stalls. So you've got
Mhm.
3 main areas or 4 main areas. I guess 5. So there's the area where you have a lot of the livestock and the other animals. There is the caravan area where a lot of the caravans are parked, each in their own distinct spot. One of the caravans left yesterday, so now there's only 3 caravans there total. And there's a couple different campsites with folks.
So, Soleus is going to be eyeing them and trying to as if like a frisbee's coming in. He's trying to intercept where it's going to go.
Mhm.
And so if they're aiming toward more the market, he's going to, try and go toward the market. He's trying to stay under them. And when they get close, he's got something planned.
Kit, you and Calamity are taking the kids, trying to run the kids back to the thing. All right, so y'all are fully engaged in that. At this point, come closer. They're starting to get big. Or sorry, Zagran, anything you want to be doing this time?
Zagran, he's following behind Saleus, but Saleus is faster than him, so he's, about 10 feet back, but is just trying to stay close by and watching the sky and watching where other people are looking, just to keep aware, but he hasn't done anything yet.
Okay. Coming in closer, you now are definitely seeing wyverns. These are large, they almost look like dragons. They've got huge wings, long tails, big claws, and you see them now split and each kind of change where they're going around the crossroads, but they're getting lower to the ground and coming closer. They'll come into range next turn. Can I get initiative for everybody? Give me just 1 sec. We're gonna roll for initiative.
'21.
Okay.
18 for Essie.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
18.
Okay. Sorry, what was it for Essie?
18, I put it in.
Saleus, what was it?
18 as well.
Okay. And where's Kit? Where can I find? There she is. There's Kit. What'd you get?
20.
20. Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
We rolled
Nice.
good.
Holy
Jeez.
moly.
Yeah.
So good.
All
Gonna
right.
need it.
Yeah, so you and Calamity are over by the carts. Zagran and Slayus. Are we going watering hole, market? Looking at it, it looks like one is absolutely going to swoop past the market, although it looks like it's a little higher, like it's got less altitude. The other is coming in towards the watering hole, right? And the remaining, so you see there at the watering hole, while most folks have gathered, there's a mother who's grabbed up 3 kids, and you see her looking frantically around, and this one little snot-nosed toddler, like, is all wet, sitting there just like stunned, looking up at this wyvern that's flying in towards them. So you have 1 round to decide who wants to do what. Soleus, Zagrin, and Essie. Zagrin, Soleus, you could get there. Zagrin, maybe. Essie, you could either run towards it or just wait and shoot the thing as soon as it comes in. You know, kind of your deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the watering hole.
Yeah, she's
Run towards the
definitely-
kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the second I get there, I'm gonna pop something.
All right, so you dash towards the watering hole. You see this kid standing in the water, like just starting to cry. The booger's running down his nose. Sorry,
if
Essie, go ahead.
it's within range, I was holding a
It's not there
force
yet.
ballistic shot. It's not?
It's coming in. It's coming in
Okay,
fast, so
okay,
it'll be
okay.
in range
Mhm.
next turn.
Okay. As soon as it's within range, she's
You're gonna shoot it. So
She's-
next
I'm
turn
gonna
you'll
shoot
get
it.
you'll get a chance, right?
Okay.
So next turn you'll get a chance, and we'll start this whole thing off.
okay.
Zagrin, where you, so Essie, you're staying over closer to the market stalls?
No, I was going towards the watering hole from the beginning.
Okay. So are the 3 of you kind of close together moving towards the watering hole? Is that about fair?
Yeah, and as Zagrin's moving towards the watering hole, he'll pull his shield off of his back and have his shield ready, but he's just moving.
Essie
Okay, great.
in Undercommon is gonna say, "I hope you're better with that dagger than you were letting on."
And
Okay,
Zagrin
great.
just chuckles.
Okay, great. I think we're ready for all right. Last round. Let's get everything on the board. So Soleil, sorry, one more thing before we get there. As you run up, you do get in range of the kid. What do you want to do?
I'm going to pop a darkness covering the entire watering hole.
What about anything for the little kid, or just kind of whatever? You're just gonna hide the whole area.
I'm just gonna hide the whole area and kind of go up to the child and put my hand on his back. Stay calm, little one.
Yeah,
In complete darkness.
He absolutely starts crying. He absolutely starts crying.
What did I just say?
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
you're gonna punch him. Come
So
on.
the other
Dennis.
one
I
flies
was
over
about
Kit.
to.
So you see it fly over probably 20 feet over you and Calamity. Essie, do you want to take a shot at this thing? So you can take a shot at either one.
Whichever one's coming for the child, I'm gonna take a
That
shot
is
at.
not the one that flew over Calamity. It's the other one.
Okay. Well then, I'm waiting for the one for the
Yeah,
child.
you can take a shot at the one coming after the child. No problem.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
aced.
Oh, good damage too. That was I rolled a 9, so that's 18 plus something. Plus 4, I believe. Maybe 5? Plus 5, so that's 18. 23 points of piercing damage. The musket
yeah.
that fires.
You sight in.
Nice.
This thing's coming in. Your round takes it, and you see like this pop as a burst of blood comes out of the thing's neck. As you just got it, right? Like it's still flying, but you hear it screech out. Ah! That's what wyverns sound like canonically. A bit like crows, yeah.
Take that, you plague touch mucksucker.
Yeah. It's a knoll kissing son of a goat if ever I've seen one.
Exactly.
Great, cool. Kit, you and Calamity, one flies over you. You see Calamity, shoot a firebolt or attempt to shoot a firebolt up at it. Luckily for her, she's first. Okay. That's a hit. Okay. The other one, 18. 18 or 23? 23, right?
23 points of
Okay.
damage.
Yeah. So you hit it. Zagrin, this thing's flying in. It's getting close to that pool of darkness where Saleus is and the child was. So in fact, Saleus, around you, or around the watering hole, right? Is that correct? So there's a pool of darkness that surrounds this watering hole. So you and Essie are out of it at the moment. But this thing is coming in. What do you want to do?
I'm close to the pool of darkness, though.
Yes, you're close.
Okay. I'm going to. Zagrin ducks in to just the very edge, so he's just stepping into the darkness.
Mm.
And once he knows he's concealed, he's going to summon Liramnor. And so he reaches his hand out, grasps his fingers, and the tendril flail appears in his hand.
Nice.
And that's his action. And he's just going to stay in the darkness with his weapon ready.
Nice. Okay. Kit, what do you want to do?
So, Calamity hit one of the wyverns.
Yeah, the one that's flying overhead of you now. Like, just as it passes overhead, it's got a lot of speed on it. It's passing overhead. She just goes, wow. You hear, in fairness, a little voice and a little firebolt
that
flies
is
up.
the
Burns it.
cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if I can attack if I'm like holding a kid. Can I drop the kid? I don't want to drop a kid.
You could just drop the kid. Yes, but otherwise, no, you're not going to be allowed. You could help keep getting kids to safety.
Yeah, I think she would not focus on attacking right now. Though she does have her crossbow, she would use her action to dash and try to get the kids to safety.
All right. Essie, you were holding your shot, so you got to take that. You got to take that one free as your reaction. We're going to say last round. Now, your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm going to put everything I have into the one coming for the child. So I'm going to do, for my action, I'm going to take a shot with my musket,
Okay.
which is not amazing. It's a 16 to hit.
Okay. That hits.
So that is 11 points of piercing damage. So, and then immediately as the force ballista fires, secondary to that, and that hits as well. 18 to hit. So it takes 8 points of force damage, and it's pushed back 5 feet.
Okay.
So she just she actually kneeled down to get herself stabilized as much as possible, and she just super just calm releases and just everything she's got, and that's it. That's her whole action, bonus action. I'm done.
Saleus, you're there in the darkness. This
I
thing is
take-
flying in towards you. It's just been shot a bunch. There's a small child beside you that is crying, losing its whole mind.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying to comfort it, have my hand on its back. It's like, there now. And then I take out my hand crossbow. I'm just going to fire at this thing.
Give me a shot.
Is that how he's calming down the child?
Yeah.
Upbeat music.
I feel really calm right now.
17?
Sure, that
17
child
hits.
Okay, 1d6 plus 5.
Child starts crying harder.
11.
11 damage. Yeah, great. So this thing is getting, this wyvern is just getting pelted. It's been shot twice. It's been force bolted. It's been cross bolted. It is looking upset, and it is looking bloodied.
Ooh.
All right. Anything else for you, Slayus?
The mother is nearby, right?
She is. She's not far. In fact, she's now really scared that her child just disappeared into a bubble of darkness.
Okay, do you think I could move the child to the edge?
You could carry the child over to the mother. She's within
Yeah.
range. She's within 30 feet.
I'm gonna do that. So out of the darkness comes this guy with a ceramic face, and it's like,
Yeah,
and then goes back in.
That's terrifying.
great.
Yeah.
Now the
Great.
mother is crying too. It's a hole.
So you see that first one that flew over you, Kit, and that flew over Kit and Calamity, right? It flies into that cattle pen, and you see it grab something and begin like beating its wings fiercely, trying to take flight with this. Let's see, cow or horse? Y'all want high or low?
I
Low.
want whatever's not Freya and Bryn.
Cow. Yeah.
Oh my god. Phew.
So you see it like grabbing this cow. Its tail is stuck into the cow, and it's stuck into the cow. The cow looks like you hear like a bunch of cows like scream and moo, and something bad is going on. But this cow's looking bad as it begins trying its best to like take off with this cow. So this
What
is
does
an
a
ambitious
cow's
wyvern.
screaming sound like, Jason?
I'll
Our hamburgers.
Oh,
Cowfax.
Cowfax.
that was a cow fact.
Cowfax.
Not Petunia.
Thankfully, it's not Petunia. The wyvern, the injured wyvern that's flying in, you see it confused. You know, it's off course. It turns and it looks at the source of its pain. And Essie, you see its eyes lock onto your eyes. And it turns like this hard bank mid-flight and
I'm just
begins
gonna roll
moving
my eyes.
moving
As if.
towards you.
Ugh, not this again.
And it lands in front of you, and as it raises up its jaws and its wings that give you a good bite, we're gonna end it right there, and we'll find out how that
No.
plays out
No.
next time.
Why?
It'll be
Best
I was
Fine.
like getting ready to shield immediately.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
So,
was so good.
folks, everyone who watched, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell folks about it. We really enjoy making it. If you follow us on Twitch, that makes a huge impact, or if you subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, really hope you've enjoyed this episode, and you can join us this Tuesday for
TBD.
TBD.
It's gonna
TBD.
be
Fun.
It'll be
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah.
It could, yeah. So there
me,
we go.
Jason, or not Jason, me, Josh, and Taya, I think. Doing
Yes.
something.
Yes. We're gonna have a little adventure going on. And I believe that next Saturday we're going to be doing a character recap during this time.
yeah.
So get some ideas of where we, the players, think the plot might be going, how we developed these characters, a little bit of their backstory that you might not see. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We have some cool stuff planned, and certainly hope that everybody in chat has some good questions for us. We'll answer any questions, and yeah, come hang out with us.
And Jason won't be there, so we
Yeah.
can talk a lot of trash and make plans without the
Sky's
DM.
the limit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the spoiler stream. It's the guessing
Exactly.
stream.
Yeah, Jason's not allowed.
Wild theories. We're
No-
actually
no
going to be
game
wearing
masters allowed.
tinfoil hats the whole time.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
That's not
amazing.
True.
Amazing. All right, well, folks, thank you. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and join us for the next episode of Best Left Buried to see who else the wyverns get to fly off with
Oh
and
my
eat.
gosh.
When you say it like that.
The gang's all together. Yay.
Yay!
Yes.
All right.